Jump right in. So, hello. We're back today, joined by a guest. We have an absolute fucking maniac on the podcast. A man that even while going through a medical emergency was like, "Yeah, no, I can make it to the show. That's fine." I understand because you get the opportunity. This is a career maker right here to get it. So I understand. Yeah. Well, even having a severe problem, being like, yeah, I can't pass up this opportunity. But we got you in, and we're joined by JR, hilarious fucking dude. And yeah, man, I appreciate you coming by.
Stoked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how detailed if you would want to get.
I could go right into it.
Yeah,
full detail.
Full detail. Okay.
So, it needs some backstory to that night. So that was a Friday. That was July 1st. The Wednesday, I'm in Comedy Brawl at House of Comedy, where Justin Nichols Comedy Brawl, a great show where you go head to head with some comics and go through some rounds. And that day, I just woke up and it'll get graphic, I guess. I fucking my shits were liquid. I was just one of those. I'm like, okay, it's one of these days.
It's one of these days. Hey, honestly, I know some real dirtbags that listen to this show, so I mean, I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about. It's just a Wednesday, all right. So Tuesday I had something to eat late at night or something, whatever it was. So I'm just dealing with that, and I have the show, and I'm like, fuck, I can't. I'm going to the show.
Yeah,
it's Comedy Brawl. I'm not canceling. I don't cancel shit.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with it throughout the day. It's not getting better. I start drinking Pepto like crazy. So I take it to the show. Dude,
just bring it on stage.
That's it. That's what I did. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going all out. I wore my pink sweater.
Yeah.
I put a full pink sweater on, and I come out. They announce me. I got Pepto. I'm taking a chug.
Nice.
As I'm coming out, the crowd fucking
loved it.
Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this. But I was hurting.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope I don't shit my pants.
Did you say anything to them?
Nothing.
Or they were just
never said shit. I'm like, this is my character now. I'm the dude who just comes on stage and drinks Pepto. I drink Pepto like Red Bull.
That's good. I like that. That's a good bit.
So I decided to use it.
Yeah.
It won me that first round almost immediately. So I got to laugh while I was getting handed the mic. So did that show. It went really well. Next day I wake up. I'm like, oh, it's still one of those days.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not going away. But that day, I noticed this stool is black. And I'm
man.
I'm sorry for this graphicness.
Well, I like you toned it down there with the medical term stool.
Right.
Yeah,
stool.
that's nice of you.
And I'm not talking about the one at the show. I'm talking about my stool at home. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I fucking Google it. And, and it tells me what it is. There's blood in your fucking stool.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It turns black, not red. So
that's
you're
good
getting
to know.
advice.
Yeah, I did not fucking know that.
Right. You're like, oh, if I'm pooping blood, it's going to be red, right? No, for when you're bleeding and you're losing blood in your stool, the bacteria inside your stomach or whatever turns it black.
Okay.
It turns it into bile.
Wow. All right.
So, hey, this is an educational.
This is now an education. Well, it always has been, first and foremost, when I started this, is that it's about education.
That's it.
And, if people get some laughs along the way, that's fine.
I'm here to... Contrary to popular belief, I'm here to talk to you about your health.
Yeah. We have Dr.
Dr. R right here. Dr. J right here. So I Google it and I find out I'm like, oh, okay, so this is not a normal diarrhea thing. This is serious. So, and I had a show that Friday. This is the show you're talking about.
Yeah.
It didn't go away. Friday, I still had it. I'm like, okay, I have to deal with this. I'm still working throughout the day, too.
Yeah.
I work from home, but it's not that hard. But so Friday, I'm like, I'm going to the show. I get to the but I made it already a plan. After the show, I'm going to go to the hospital. So
making a deal with myself is just like,
I'm texting people throughout the day. They're like, you're fucking stupid. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, you don't understand, man. Yeah. This is my career.
Yeah.
This is everything. It's a spot at Lana Lou's that fucking. I love Lana Lou's. I love it.
But worth dying.
It was a showcase show, like a competition thing as well. So here I am doing 2 competitions, pooping fucking blood. So I was
slamming Pepto-Bismol.
Slamming Pepto at the shows. Yeah. So I tell Nick, the guy who runs the show, and I'm like, yo, can I go bullet? Because I'm going to bounce and go to St. Paul's. And which I'm glad I was there, and I went to that hospital because I live in Surrey, and they told me don't go to that hospital. So I was like, hey, this makes sense. I'll go to the show, and the hospital is right down the road. So I did my set, fucking killed it, fucking took off. In the hospital, they do blood work, whatever. They tell me, I'm losing blood. I have a bleeding ulcer.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me. Nick texts me after the show. I'm still at the hospital, and he's like, yo, I have good news and bad news. Good news is you won the tournament.
Yeah.
And the show, they still voted for me, the audience.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but you also have a bleeding ulcer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
yay.
I mean, yeah, still a win.
It's a win,
Yeah.
but no, man. So I've been dealing with that. That was July 1st. So they give me medication and a referral.
Mm-hmm.
Been on the meds. Every day's different, man. It's still fucking up and down
Yeah.
discomfort-wise. But
And you just tried to see, the thing was like,
shows. I was still doing shows throughout the week.
Yeah.
I did Yuck Yuck. The last show I did was at Yuck Yucks in Surrey. Fucking killed it. But then I'm like, I have to clear my calendar, man, and
Yeah.
rest. Like,
yeah.
even the comics, my buddy Justin Nichol, he's messaging me like, dude, stop it. Stop
Yeah.
with it. Like, rest, dude.
Yeah.
So I forced myself to do that, which is the hardest thing. I want to do comedy every fucking day, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is the longest stretch I've gone without it.
Since you started?
Yeah, for sure. Even during the pandemic. I was
What?
running shows in the pandemic, 3 shows.
Really?
I was running 3 shows, man. One at King's Head for Tuesdays that Jackie and Johnny now do.
Yeah.
And then I was doing a Neptune show on Wednesdays. And then Heritage Grill that burned down in New West on Thursdays across from House of Comedy.
You were doing it through the pandemic. They were
Throughout, yeah, so we followed all these crazy rules. Oh,
Yeah.
and even a show at Havana Theater. Sorry,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
another show, Comedy Snack. So, yeah, I was working with a company called Laugh Wild. Now they're called Comedy North or whatever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we just decided, like, we took, like, a couple weeks breaks, figured out what the rules were because everything was so fucking
Yeah,
confusing.
crazy,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, you can do this and this. And
Yeah.
So we figured it out, did weekly shows, man, for
Fuck.
the whole fucking time.
And were they like decent shows?
They
or
were
was it-
decent, man. They
Yeah.
were decent, but you know, actually, I shouldn't say they're decent. No,
Yeah.
they were shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
now I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Everybody was 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
The tables were all over the place. There was a minimum of, or a maximum of, like, you could have only a small amount.
Yeah.
So, but it was comedy, man.
It was it was I guess a place
A
to
stage?
fucking. Yeah. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. That was,
What kind of fucking people are pulling up to those though? Like, I mean,
Not
that's
a lot.
crazy.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, we stopped doing them when it was like this. We kept it legit. They weren't like behind, like in not promoted and not following the rules.
Mhm.
So there was a time, I should say, that comedy was illegal. Like, you weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah.
There was that time frame. But once you were allowed to have any attendance, we were running shows.
Yeah, I heard some people were saying that there was shows going on like throughout the whole thing, some like underground
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
fucking sick. I didn't know that.
I did it.
Yeah?
I was doing them. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Mark Hughes, another comic, shout out to him. He's amazing and been such a good friend. But yeah, he would run private shows. We were doing shows out of garages, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Just for packing out a garage.
Dude,
Fuck.
and we were selling them out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking. I mean, man, like that's I don't see a problem with that.
Nah.
With people that would like wanted to,
Hey, look, if COVID was taking anyone, it was taking me.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I
you're-
was the
yeah.
demographic for COVID. killer.
Yeah.
And I was fine. Dude, I lasted the whole pandemic, and now I get a bleeding ulcer.
Yeah, the whole pandemic wasn't shit, and then right after fucking.
Surprised they're not like, it's COVID, dude. You have COVID.
Yeah.
Really? That's making me shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, stool.
Yes, yeah, please.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ. Jesus, don't get graphic here.
Yeah.
But yeah, was it like when you were performing, did it feel like can you just like do you just feel off or what the fuck was
Yeah, there was definitely some of that.
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm new to comedy. So at that time, I've only been doing comedy 3 years this month. So at that time, even 2 years ago, I'm still a noob, man, and I'm fresh. And Mark's just like, he took a liking to me right away, and he immediately started like, hey, you want to do this show? Want to do this? I have this. And he always paid us well. So it was different, but it was still a packed garage.
Yeah.
Or it was still a packed private room somewhere.
Mhm.
And no, it felt normal because the people that came to those shows weren't fucking making sure they were 6 feet away or wearing masks either.
Yeah.
We were all dying if we were going to die. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I guess my whole career has been filled with you could die on stage.
You could die on
That's
stage. Yeah, when you were performing like the competitions and stuff and then like the Yuck Yucks after
That was a rough day.
did you just like when you were up there, did you find
I fucking killed.
and
I destroyed the room.
yeah.
Never felt a thing. But that day, I was just hurting, man, in
Mhm.
pain, discomfort, fucking still dealing with stool issues.
Yeah.
And I get to the show, I'm still hurting, get on stage, I'm normal,
Fine.
fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Drink some Pepto, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And get off stage, and you're still running off that high, and then you just go.
Mhm.
And then I had to force myself just to be like, I shouldn't do this.
I need to
I was supposed to do Bubba's comedy show the next day. I fucking out of that.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I'm gonna do a last show, I want to do it at Yucks or at least something.
It's kind of funny to think of you like sitting at the bar, like just like a fucking like sad like comedian who's just before he goes up, he's just sitting there with a bottle of Pepto.
No, it's in a shot glass.
In a shot glass.
I'll take some Pepto on ice.
Just a lime on the edge. Like
it's bismuth shots.
Yeah, everyone's just like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the headliner tonight."
That's a new kind of sad comic.
Yeah,
like that's not the comic who has issues, relationship issues, or anything else.
Health
this is a
problems.
dude who has a fucking bleeding ulcer, and he's about to go do comedy in front of 100.
It was like, why is he here? He just loves comedy.
That's it, man.
Yeah,
dude. If I'm going out, I'm going out on stage.
Yeah, fuck man. So you've only been doing it 3 years.
3 years. I moved here February 1st, 2019 from Ontario, from Brampton.
Yeah, I was born in Brampton.
You were born in Brampton?
Yes. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, that's where my parents grew up.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's where I was raised. I was born in Newfoundland and moved to Ontario when I was 3 years old. We went to Malton, Mississauga, obviously where the airport is. We just got off and moved.
Yeah, just wherever.
Just whatever.
First available spot.
Yeah. And then we got pushed out. Then we moved to like Mississauga and North York and Scarborough even. And then eventually ended up in Brampton. And that's where like I was there from the age of like 7 until I came here in 2019.
And you came here specifically for comedy, or
came here for comedy? So like, dude, I went through this whole health change and got super healthy and fit, dude. It's on my Instagram. It's if you scroll right to the bottom, you gotta go back a bit. Yeah. But like I was always a big dude growing up, and then I got this health change, and I started working out, and I was eating healthy, and I was just fucking built, man.
Yeah.
And then got into relationships, finally started, people start giving you attention. Finally.
Yeah.
And I'm not prepared for that. I spent my life as the funny fat friend.
Yeah.
Just I have a lot of friends in Ontario, and I always hung out with big groups and was popular, except high school. but
you had to preface, you had to throw that in there.
That was the worst time of my life. I'd rather deal with that. I'd rather deal with my home abuse again than fucking high school abuse. Bring my dad back and let him beat me so I can forget about the high school.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I got healthy, and all of a sudden I started experiencing things I should have experienced in high school and growing up. Yeah. Relationships, fucking other things. Instead, I just did drugs and I was fat. I was the fattest crackhead, dude. Like I smoked crack.
They're usually shredded.
I never lost a pound while I was smoking crack, like and doing coke.
Yeah.
Just still fucking. I couldn't believe it. It's like it had calories. My crack had calories.
Yeah. You had the fucking processed, the highly processed
mine was
bullshit
cut with fucking
like seed oils and shit. Yeah. Yeah, fucking canola oil based. Yeah.
So I got into relationships. Everything. I'm living like I'm in my 20s and I'm in my 30s though. And eventually, I had a relationship fall apart, and I was fucking just depressed from it and whatever, and processing that, living alone. I had a good job. I was working at Shoppers Drug Mart as a manager and enjoying that in Brampton, but just not happy. And I knew I could do more. Like I grew up in a band. Like I was playing music. I played music. I played guitar. That was my first love. But being in a band is tough because I always had to collaborate with other people, right? Like you can't just write your own thing, release it. Guys play this specifically. Yeah. I wrote everything, which I love to do. I write lyrics, I write guitar, the bass, the drums. I even play drums. I played in my church growing up. But I always didn't like the product that came out, and I had trouble working with others in that environment because in my head, I was like, I know what's right for this.
Yeah.
I know how this should be, and I just need you guys because I can't play it all at once if I want to go do a show. Yeah. But I never worked on. I couldn't have that attitude. You got to work together.
Yeah, and it's a fuck ton of compromise.
So much compromise, and so I always jumped around from bands and this and that, and then I started recording all the stuff myself at home. But I can't sing much, so I fucking didn't want to do that. It's like I got to find people if I'm going to do this.
Hey, well, you shouldn't have let that stop you because if you listen to any music, literally nobody can sing, and it doesn't stop anybody. It doesn't stop anybody.
That should have been the last thing that stopped me.
You shouldn't have stopped there.
Fuck. I love your wall here. It's even like Eddie. This is a Van Halen wall for sure,
it is.
Buddy. I fucking love it.
Yeah, man. It's that's what I grew up with. Fucking Saturday mornings, I would just wake up to my parents blasting fucking rock.
Amazing, dude.
I hated it at the time. Well, I didn't hate the music at the time. I hated the conditions of which it was forced upon me. But yeah, man. Yeah. That's
So I found that. Okay, then I watched an episode of Kill Tony, and I started watching Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And he's calling up these people in a bucket.
Yeah.
And then they do a minute of comedy, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm going, oh, I'm cringing.
It was, a lot of it's horrifying. Yeah.
And but then they do the interview, and Tony's like, how long have you been doing? Oh, this is my second time, whatever. And Tony's like, that was pretty good. And I'm like, that's good, like, for starting out. Like, I know that's kind of fucking asshole-ish to think, but it's not, because I knew in my head I had been writing stuff, always written comedy or something, but never performed. And then I realized I could fucking do that.
Yeah.
And I don't have to compromise with anybody.
Yeah.
I don't have to run my joke by anybody. I write it myself, edit it, go on stage, come off.
Yeah.
If I want to change it, I change it myself.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me shit. So I was like, this is the move. And I had gained back all the weight. I was back into my horrible habits. My buddy was living out here already that I grew up with in Ontario, best friend of mine. And he's like, just come. And he started watching Kill 20. He's like, this is amazing. Now he does my social media, most of it and stuff. But he's like, why don't you just come out here, man, and let's start comedy?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a huge life change, but I had nothing going for me. The relationship, I was losing my health. He's the one that got me healthy. He's a personal trainer and dude. And so when he moved away, I just fell back in the old ways.
Right. Yeah.
So it was all a positive move. It made sense. And I was like, I have nothing going on here. I had a good job and I enjoyed it, but I was like, this is not what I want to do. Fuck this.
Yeah.
So I sold my car, fucking sold everything. I rented a place on Craigslist that only got approved the day before I flew out.
Fuck.
Well, I had a place with him. Then he emails me that day, and he's like, "Oh, I had to give that to somebody else." I'm like, "What?
Your friend?
No.
Oh, a dude on Craigslist. Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I have another spot though, if you like." And then he sent me photos. Like, I guess
whatever. Yeah. At this
day.
point, you're just like, actually, that doesn't really work for me.
Yeah. I'm flying out at 9 a.m. But that doesn't really work.
I'm looking for something. Yeah. I'm actually looking for something a little bit, more open.
Yeah. I don't like the bathroom.
Yeah. The bathroom. I don't like the layout.
Yeah. So I flew here, man. My buddy picked me up from the airport, drove me to the spot, dropped my suitcases off. And that was February 1st, 2019. And I did my first set that year in July. So 3 years this month.
Yeah.
I'm doing comedy here. So,
and it's been mostly fucking dealing with COVID shit. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It was 6 months I was into comedy before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So my whole career has been filled with health issues and COVID.
Yeah. So you haven't been able to hit a consistent fucking thing where you just get to work and there's crowd, like
continuously build things.
Yeah. And things aren't fucking, especially I could imagine I wasn't doing stand up during like the height of COVID anyway. But no, you're right. Trust me. I've said a lot worse about myself. But fucking like it's tough to, I guess I would imagine it's like weird to do it during that time because it's like such an elephant in the room where it's just like it's completely switched now because during it was like it's hard to not say anything about it and like just talk about other things because like nobody's just like, oh, like my fucking cat's weird at home. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up.
COVID?
Yeah. And then now if you bring up COVID, people are like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like,
this? Dude, every comic set had COVID, like in it, right? Like it was exactly. It's the elephant in the room. And they're watching comedy, they're living through this whole pandemic, and every comic is just talking about COVID.
Yeah.
And shit.
But it was like that was the only thing you had to.
What are you gonna talk about?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the only thing.
It was in the news today.
I know nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody cares.
But then now it's the other way where
What's the number? Where are we at?
If you talk about COVID now, it's literally. I was just talking about this with someone the other day because we talked about Bill Burr had a new special that came out, and we're just like, what do you think about it? We were both big Bill Burr fans, and we're just like. It's like, I mean, I like enjoyed it, but it's not like my favorite of his. It's just like as soon as like the COVID stuff comes up, I'm immediately like,
I've shut down, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned that, man. I'm a huge Bill Burr fan.
Yeah.
And I watched this thing, man, and I noted my laugh. My first laugh was like 39 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Man.
And Bill Burr was like fucking like one of my comedic like inspirations when I was growing up.
Same,
and I mean, it's it's tough. Everybody's dealing with the last couple of years of like fucking.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying like, oh no, Bill's shit.
Yeah,
like,
no,
not at all.
Yeah.
I get what he's doing as a comedian. Watching, I can understand, and I see his bits and where he's going, and he's still trying to play his character of the angry dude, but evolved.
Yeah,
and I get that, and I understand it all. And it's an hour and 20 minutes for.
I know it's long,
and but I found issues with it, even like the audio, like because he's in this open area.
Yeah,
even the audio was weird and off. So I think a lot of the laughs from the audience even got carried away.
Yeah.
Instead of went through the stage or the mics and. I think that adds a lot. You hear people laugh, you join in a lot sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Of course. You don't want to be the first one. I'm always the first one to laugh. But the bits just didn't hit with me, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple things he said that I liked. A couple bits, like the abortion thing was funny. But I felt like this special could have used 6 more months on the road or something.
Yeah.
Like they're great premises, but I don't feel like.
Well, 6 more months, I think, back like into a normal society, like more outside of post-COVID, so that we could like he could kind of get more of a feel for where we're currently at.
Right.
Because like
people don't want to hear the COVID,
yeah, people don't
like
give a fuck, man. It literally turns people off right away when they're just like, I
don't care about your stance on mask anymore.
Yeah, I'm
shut
over
the
it.
Fuck up.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
And the people that do want to hear that stuff are fucking insane.
They're not the people I would want to tell comedy to anyway.
They're not people that would like comedy.
They're not liking comedy. No,
they don't like comedy. They might, and those people always talk about how they love to laugh too, but they don't
behind a mask.
Yeah, like, they don't like comedy at all.
No,
because they don't like discomfort in any way.
That's right.
So
and comedy is pure discomfort.
That's all it is.
It should make you discomfort.
Yeah. It's so that's all it is. So it like if you want to hear jokes about the same opinions of COVID as you have, like
I don't need an echo chamber room of fucking comedy, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally crazy. And I mean, we're both from we both grew up in
fucking
Ontario, where it's very different. I feel like
what a fucking culture change.
A lot of people here just want to just hang out and just only want to be around people that think the exact same as them.
Oh my god, dude.
And they don't. If you have a different opinion, it's just like, okay, like we're done with you.
We're done. Yeah, that means we can't.
We can't communicate. Yeah, you're not a part of whatever. They'll just shun you. They're just like they think you're stupid.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, and it's crazy.
And they'll call you those things, and then all of a sudden they start chatting with each other, and it's bullshit, dude. And you're right.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. But in Brampton or anywhere else, I find most places, it's nothing like that.
No,
nothing, man. And it was such a shock to come here and slowly witness that, especially in a comedy scene.
Yeah.
I came here and I jumped in a comedy scene that I thought was like, this is going to be great. Everybody's a comedian. Everyone's going to be funny. And we're all going to have this close. Is nothing like that, man. Yeah. And I started comedy late. Like I'm 40 now. So 3 years ago, like that's late for a comic.
Yeah.
And a lot of comics here are in their 20s.
Yeah.
And you got to do the hang and you got to hang out and think the same and talk about the same things. I'm 40, man, with a bleeding ulcer. I can't hang anymore. I don't
have time.
I want to do my set. I'll stay for the show, but afterwards, you guys want to party and hang out and go places. Oh, fuck.
And you're just like, I don't have time to fucking do the politics of
I'm
like
at a Pepto.
I
need to find a Shoppers.
I need a 24-hour Shoppers to
and there's nothing against that, and that's what I did back in Ontario when I was in bands and stuff. That was the scene, but the scene is a lot more camaraderie and close there anyway. But with music wise, I don't know much about comedy scenes outside of here besides what I've heard from people, and people tell me that Vancouver is very different than a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just learning about it all. Like now, I mean, I've fucking started I think I did my first set in like February.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it had been a long time fucking coming. I mean, it's like.
And how old are you?
26.
Yeah. See, you're good age though.
Yeah, but also I don't have time to fucking hang, because I don't drink. I don't fucking do anything. So.
And you work.
Yeah.
A day job. You're not a comedian who sleeps in until fucking.
Yeah, and I fucking am doing I've got like videos and podcast stuff to work on and stuff. So I don't have time to fucking sit at a bar at fucking 1 o'clock after a show. It's like, dude, the set was 10 minutes.
You did a 10-minute set at 8:30.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing here? Unless we're working on something.
Yo, that's it, man. You got the right attitude though, man. That will take you above that scene eventually.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal is I mean, as far as I don't understand what people's this is not like anybody specific or whatever. I just don't understand what people's mentality is if you're thinking of stand up. If you're just doing spots around here, what do you think's gonna happen? Like some guy in the back of the room in a pinstripe suit with a cigar is gonna walk up to you and just be like, "Hey, you got chops, kid," and it's not gonna, and he's just gonna slap a contract on the table, dude, what are we doing?
Call me.
Well, what are we doing?
Dude, it's filled with hobbyists that like comedy they look at as a hobby and it's fun for them to do outside of their life.
Right.
Comedy is my life.
Yeah.
And comedy is obviously is your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's
with what
it needs to be. I feel like
right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take a stab at this, what is your like? Are you looking to just be famous in your local area? And do shows for friends.
Yeah.
Or are you looking for something bigger?
Yeah. So I'm just like, if you're not trying to build something outside of like just doing spots around, it's irrelevant now.
Right.
In today's way that comedy works, it's basically online. You have to build your own audience. Like nobody's coming up to and just like, so say you do all this and then you get 10, like you work your ass off for fucking 5-6 years. You build up an amazing time. You end up with 10 minutes on CBC that 10 people's fucking grandparents see.
Nobody gives a
don't
fuck
understand
about it.
and nobody else sees, and that's your height, and that's all your work is gone, and that's the height of it.
That is depressing to think about to
and
me.
there's a lot of talented people that get fucking caught up in that.
And there's a lot of people that look at that as a goal.
Yeah.
I find that so depressing.
Fuck no.
I don't want to like if anything, I'd never want to be on CBC Gem. Like that is my goal.
I don't even know what CBC Gem is.
It's some online exactly. Nobody knows. Nobody fucking knows. That's your grandfather.
Yeah. Like, even he would just be like, "What is that bullshit?"
Fuck. Is it worth something?
Yeah.
Is that a gem? Like
CBC Gem.
Yeah. So that's like you hear some comics like, "Oh, that's a credit." Like CBC does this special. It's just online or something. I think. And it's just like, here's a spot from this comedian's promoted on CBC.
Yeah.
And it's called CBC Gem. This is your gem.
But like, is being associated with CBC a good thing?
That's a horrible thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that. If anything, maybe just for laughs here, but you can't, it's hard to do it in Canada, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
that's what I'm saying is
what's
like.
What's your goal in Canada? Your height. What's the height?
Nobody in Canada does. Yeah.
Like, fuck off, man.
CTV.
Like, bring back YTV and all.
I'd rather have my special or like do a fucking have a set on TSN. Straight up, I would.
Michael Landsberg.
Yeah, I would rather have my 10 minutes on TSN streaming than fucking anything else. Like
here we are on Sportsnet.
Yeah,
with 10 minutes set before the.
It's my own game. Top 10, and then they just do different jokes.
I just do hockey jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fuck. I mean, that's if you want a Canadian audience.
It's just, I don't know, man. You could reach a point. There are comedians in Canada, but they just go across Canada or they go to their hometown and they get an audience and they can do that. But I want more, man.
You need, I want more. It needs
I want Bill Burr, Red Rocks, but better.
Yeah, and it needs to be built online because there's just no path in Canada. To get there.
Even like the specials they used to release back, like HBO ain't doing a special for you anymore. Comedy Network,
it's not doing anything.
Comedy Network doesn't do anything.
It's not the specials now that are doing numbers and are moving for people and getting them to that place are all people that have built audiences online and released their own shit on YouTube.
YouTube,
man. And that's it's like that's how you fucking do it now.
I just watched. So I watched the Bill Burr one. I watched that and I was like, okay, I gave it the full shot. I watched the whole thing. And then I watched another dude I like, Ben Bankus out of Toronto.
Okay, I've never heard of him.
He's a Yuck Yucks comedian as well. Actually, Yuck Yucks has backed him, but he just released his special on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious. And it's great. And he built his audience throughout the pandemic doing like what you do, man. Just fucking talking, doing your podcast and fucking yelling about shit.
Yeah.
Not yelling, but ranting about shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit, man. That's what it is. Charles did it through Netflix. And then eventually got his own shit going. And now look at this podcast. Like it's insane.
And now his podcast is like a fucking like it's its own. It's bigger than
you can't touch him.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Nobody can come at him. Nobody can say shit. And it's all YouTube. Yeah.
And he speaking of Andrew Schultz, he had an interesting point. I was just listening to him on a thing that just when it comes back to like the CBC and like all that kind of stuff and people being like it's a credit, is this like he was like fucking boomers and everything and like the older generation associate everything with just logos and like labels.
Right.
So
you see that JFL logo.
Yeah, then they're like, oh, that person's doing well. Or they see the CBC thing, it's like, oh, that person's doing well in comedy. But it's like that doesn't fucking mean that. But he's like the younger generation doesn't give a fuck about that at all.
Nobody cares.
So it's like, who are you trying to appeal to, I guess, in a way?
Who's your audience?
Man? And who's your audience? And I mean, if that's what your, audience is, and it's obviously, I mean, this isn't even like I don't think you have to fucking say it, but it's not directed at anybody specifically or people that have done that shit.
No,
I mean, of course,
not at all.
Yeah, people like, you know, so many talented people, and it's just like that's all that's being offered.
If that's what they
them.
want too.
Yeah.
Like if that's your goal is to just be that.
Yeah.
Cool.
But like that's all that's being offered. There's nothing else like here.
Not in Canada.
There's nothing else here.
Nothing, dude. So the only way to reach outside of that is, like you said, online.
Online. You have to do it online, and then you have to like build a platform and like then take it to the States and, you know, go around.
And getting that visa is fucking not the easiest fucking thing either.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, fuck. I didn't,
It's a money grab, though.
Yeah.
Fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, you try and, like, they'll just be like, oh, it's $3,000 now for this, or here's some more forms, and you need to pay this lawyer. And you need to have a portfolio, though. And, like, you need to prove to them that you would be financially beneficial to the States.
Hey,
right?
I understand.
Yeah, and I get that.
Yeah.
I do. I'm just saying that's not easy to get, though.
Yeah, fuck no. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You need those CBC logos.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I really don't, man. But I've heard from people that
it's a nightmare.
You just pay a lot of money and it's a nightmare.
Fuck, man. Yeah. I mean, or you just, you know.
Just, fucking garages and fucking.
Cross the border and.
Don't tell me shit. Go before they build a wall on the north.
Yeah. I mean, before they lock us out.
Yeah. So that brings up, I'm making a move soon, probably by September. And my goal was I want to get to Texas or lower, somewhere down there, and do, like even the Kill Tony area, the Joe Rogan area. They're doing a lot of fucking awesome fucking comedy right now out of that area, and it's booming. And like, but like I could go there, you can hang out for a bit, but you have to be so low key about it right now.
Yeah.
But hey, man, if I'm still contemplating where to go.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do that.
But you just know it's not.
It's
here.
It's a whole it's not here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely it's not in Canada.
No,
it
it's
can't
not.
be.
Yeah.
It can't, but especially not here.
Yeah.
Like Vancouver, no.
Yeah. Did you consider staying in Toronto to do comedy, or
I went back last month for 10 days for kind of a vacation, see people. It was my first time back.
Yeah.
And I did comedy at a bunch of spots, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I know they have a good scene there too. Yeah, that's an option. That's one of the options as well.
Yeah.
Or even Edmonton. I might go there for a little bit.
Edmonton.
Yeah. Edmonton. Right now, my buddy Mark is there, and he's doing comedy. And there's another group called the Danger Cats.
Yeah,
love the Danger Cats.
I'm familiar with Forte and the. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So fucking Uncle Hack and shit.
Those guys are fucking
are
great.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So like that's my style too, and I'd want to. So that's an option. And it's much cheaper. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So
Edmonton. Yeah.
Edmonton, besides Vancouver. Fuck, man. Fuck this place for that.
Mm-hmm.
So and my work, I can work out of there too. So
yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Do you have any plans for like just like shifting things kind of online?
Where do you go? I have YouTube. I have my channel, but it's like. I guess I'm trying. Like you try to make clips from every show. You try to.
It's fucking difficult, and
right?
and then
I throw them up on reels all the time, and you hope it like.
I mean, it's literally just volume, and like it's fucking time consuming because you have to, shoot the stuff. You got to shoot a lot of it, and then you just got to edit tons of it.
And it has to look good. It has to be good quality, man.
Yeah.
And it has to have. You have to caption that. You got to fucking do it all.
It's a lot of work, man. Unless you unless you pay people to do it and stuff, but then that's like its own fucking beast because you gotta.
And that's a consistent. It's like okay, I have a show here. You have to come. You know that I fucking tried to have you come fucking do a show, like film something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not everything works out, man. Look at the trouble we had with that. Just because everything matters, the audience. You need.
Oh my god,
It's got to fill up the room. I'm not going to pay someone to film something in an empty fucking theater.
It just looks fucked.
Yeah. So And the best thing I've ever had reactions to was that clip you fucking did for me.
Yeah.
At it was a Portside through Tally's show. So that hit, but like that's the thing. It has to be good quality, it has to have the captions, has to be a certain length.
And the people like the fucking movement on the shit.
That's right.
I mean
everything matters. It has to be a certain length, it can't be too long.
Yeah.
Even like all of it.
Yeah.
So, and you got to be consistent, like you said.
It's fucking literally just goddamn volume, which
volume. Yeah.
I struggle with too because I mean, as far as doing any sort of like putting stuff out there, I try not to do it, but I'll put one out and it doesn't get too much of a reaction. And it could be for fucking any host of reasons. Like, you know, it could just be like the timing that it was posted, you know, whatever. And like, it could have just not been shown to a lot of people.
If the algorithm didn't get it properly, maybe even the hashtags were different.
Yeah, exactly. And so if it doesn't, like, I try not to let it be like, you know, affect me in any way and just be like, it doesn't matter. Just fucking keep posting. But that's literally, that's it. I kind of try to push past it where you're just like, you got to think, I was like, I don't want to flood and be like too much, but then
they'll push your post down.
But that's the thing is purpose. You do need to fucking flood.
Right.
You do need to be constantly, because that's all the people I've seen recently that have blown up and had shit like pop. They're fucking throwing out so much shit that it literally just things end up sticking. You have to be like so in front of this guy that's taken over fucking TikTok and like the social media world, Andrew Tate. You heard of this fucking guy?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, of course you have. Bro,
and I don't even have TikTok.
Yeah.
But I've heard this.
You've heard of it. Dude, and he's saying things that
he found a formula
that a lot of people don't fucking like.
Right.
So it's not even about shit and like, but it's just there's so much out
He's
there.
so in your face.
Yeah. Now he has this massive platform where I think he has a podcast now with his brother where they just sit there and they're just like, you know, they have like women like massaging them and they just smoke cigars and I don't even know what's happening.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's happening. Jay's like, hey, fuck, I got to get to that.
Holy shit. How do you fucking get to that level?
Yeah, well, you just have to, I guess, make, 100 TikToks a day.
Does he have a team or something? Do you know?
So apparently the whole system, it's kind of fucking genius.
Was he a marketing thing?
Yeah, so he basically like, is one of these guys that created like these fake online like university things where it's just like Bachelor University or whatever the fuck, Hustler University or some shit like that. So it's just like his marketing thing where he had people like create TikTok accounts like Tate like fucking King advice or whatever. And so he's got thousands of these people creating these things and reposting his videos. So then they're just all over the place. And then it all like comes back to him. So he's just literally in everybody's face. Like you could scroll through TikTok and be like, he would be like 7 out of the 10 videos.
Jesus. So that's how you do it. I just don't have a team. Like how do you pay for this team? Like,
he did it where he actually got like them to pay him to do it.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
See? Fuck.
It's fucking like weird. And then so now it's just
smart.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And like I've seen there's a comedian out of Ontario. I don't know if he's Toronto, but that fucking Nima guy or whatever, his name's like Nima Naz or something like that. He like makes videos online. I think he does stand up, but he just started making fucking so much content. Just so much of it. And he spoke on somewhere where it was just like he was like, it was like a Gary Vee thing he was listening to. It was just like, it doesn't matter, it's just fucking volume. And now he's fucking blown up. Like he was at like he's making videos made videos with Gary Vee and shit, which is crazy.
That's wild.
A lot of fucking followers. And he like went to New York and was making videos with like popular people there. And it's just like he just started making fucking so many goddamn videos that it's like even if you scroll past one and because you're like, I don't give a fuck, the next one's right there and you're like, oh, maybe this one.
It's about just blasting in your face.
Yeah, man. And like it's tough fucking mentally to get yourself there, but I guess
it's so hard to consistently stay there. Like I'll have 2 weeks of shows and awesome shows and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna edit stuff and cut it and upload. And then after that 2 weeks, you're like, fuck, you just die off for a minute because you're like, it's a lot of work for one person, man.
Yeah.
You need a fucking team, man.
I know.
That's the trick, I guess. But you're right. Yeah, it all just comes down to that volume. But you can't get that volume out unless you're doing that amount of shows or you're doing all these skits with a team and other people around you, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Podcasts or.
So I mean, that's what fucking we're trying to build here with it's still mostly just me. But I mean, I'm bringing on like some of my other friends that know how to edit, and me and my buddy Lee Band, we fucking shoot like videos every week, and we're trying to just up that and like
I fucking love those videos.
It's just the old thank you. I mean
that last one was that is that your buddy who was like free my dog?
Yeah.
Probably 727.
Yeah, man. Dude, shit's hilarious, man. The most heinous of fucking crimes, and then like,
dude, you could not have planned for that cop car. At the end to fucking just.
So what happened was we were filming that, and 10 cop cars pulled up and started arresting these people right beside us for drugs.
Didn't film that?
We did not film that because they were taking down these two ladies for, I'm assuming, a bunch of drug stuff because there was a lot of cops. Wow. And we're just like, well, this is not great time because he's about to scream, "Free my dog." So,
dude, it was perfect.
So, so our homie's fucking filming, and the cop just started to drive by, and he just a perfect pan.
It was perfect pan, dude. I could. Oh, knowing that backstory is even better.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they just pulled up and started just arresting and they like there was no fucking fight at all. The two girls just got on the ground and like they took her backpack and a fuck ton of cops. But he was just like, he's like, I'm about to scream, "Free my dog" right now. Dude. He's like, this is not great timing.
I thought it would have been funny if he just started running.
Yeah, fuck.
No, I guess you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know. We were just like, we were trying to, we got perfect because we got the cop car and they got to see that, but without drawing their attention to us.
Actually,
where they'd be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys doing?"
No, exactly. But it was perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we're trying to do that, and like, I love stand up more than my buddy Liban does. He loves to, do the video creation and stuff like that, and kind of just wants to build like through that way. And he likes to do stand up as well, and like he does want to, perform stand up to an audience that he's built online. I do still have a bit of that traditional stand up where I want to just do it every night and get really fucking good at that. And
that's
but then I also I also realized that it's just like that's not a like viable career path that's gonna lead to.
No. That's how it worked back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Exactly.
But
and then like, you'll get on a network, maybe you get 5 minutes on some network show, that goes well. Like, there's no Johnny Carson now. Or fucking, that's gonna pop you. It's fucking doing somebody's podcast. But they're not having you on your podcast unless you have a big online presence.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. They'll see you crush in a fucking, like a comedy club, but still they're just like, well, nobody's gonna give a fuck if I bring them on my podcast. So I can't have you on the podcast.
And most people are like, "Oh, you're really, really funny at stand-up. Can you act or can you do something else?"
Yeah.
Or you get a job as a writer for a show or something. That's usually the fucking path.
God forbid, man.
I know, man. But it's like so many stand-up end up that route.
And I fucking, it makes sense. It's better than it could be better than a different 9-to-5 job.
Right. I guess it's just a job, but you still want to do stand-up.
And you think of it. I think I talked about this on the podcast with Lehman too. Is like, if you get those writers job, it's like a trap. It's a trap, and also you're selling all your fucking ideas to them. And then, like, after you're doing that all day long, you're not going home and writing bits for yourself and then going out and, like, trying them and, like, working it.
The only bits you're doing are things that weren't acceptable for the show.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your stand-up, like, changes.
Yeah. Because you're always thinking about the show and writing for comedy for...
this would be great for the show.
A different voice.
Great for the state.
Yeah, you're writing in a different fucking, like...
Exactly.
But I understand people are just like, it's a consistent paycheck and get caught up in that. And that's fucking...
It's a day job.
And you know what? Good.
Fine.
Good. Actually, it's definitely better to do that.
Right.
Because the chances of anything happening, unless you're willing to fucking...
Those are people who are like, that are thinking like you, it's not feasible to make a living doing just stand-up right now.
Yeah,
and they're not, like, somehow they got that job, or I don't even know how. Like, do you apply? Do you fucking get asked? I don't know, man. What is the path to a fucking successful comedian? You got to have something else.
Yeah.
And then get a following off of that, and then get them out to your shows for stand-up.
Yes. Yeah. And and then you just have to be performing stand-up enough that you can deliver and not fucking lose everybody. You don't have to be that great because they're your fans already, but you just have to not be the worst comedian of all time.
There was a comedian at a House of Comedy. He's huge online. He has 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and he was at House of Comedy about a month ago. Neil something. Fuck.
Is it Noel Miller?
Yes, Miller. Okay. Thank you. So I
huge online.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he does stand up?
Yeah.
And it kind of threw me off.
Was it
the show
stand up proper or like?
It was a packed show, but with his fans, obviously. Yeah. It's just girls in their 20s.
Yeah.
And he was actually good at comedy, though.
He's a very funny guy. Yeah.
Like, he actually, like, it wasn't a dude who just got online presence and then was like, well, now I can go do comedy. Like, a lot of do. And it's like, get the fuck out of the club. Like, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
You didn't put in the time. But you could tell he could. But, I mean, like, there's no work for him to fill a room.
No.
He just does that tour.
No.
And it's like, no work. And the room is just packed. Mm-hmm. And they're going to laugh at whatever.
Anything you
say, dude. Just the fact you're standing there.
Yeah.
These girls.
Well, that's more what it's about. It's more of just like a big meet and greet, and then you just get to talk for an hour.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They just want to. Yeah.
It's the same thing you're doing online.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's a live audience.
They just want to see you, and then they like, get a picture with you after because they just love your shit online. It doesn't really fucking matter too much what you.
That's right.
What you do, but as long as you're not literally the worst.
No.
Like if literally anything above Michael Richardson it, like you get up there and just say the N-word a bunch of times is fine.
Right.
Like, yeah. Like,
or if you want to go that route, you can go that route.
Hey, yeah. For some online creators, that might be different following. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, for some online creators, I don't know what's going on in 4chan and shit, but that might kill in certain rooms.
Yeah, but that's he's just packing rooms, man. Packing theaters, like
all over.
Fuck, man.
All over.
And I had never heard of him. I'm 40.
Yeah, the other him and his buddy that do a podcast together. They're two Canadian kids.
Wow.
He's cool. I think he moved to the States when he was older, but he grew up in Toronto, and then the other kid grew up in Calgary.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Noah Miller and Cody Ko. They're fucking massive. Yeah, massive on
Well, I searched them up after on YouTube. I was like, oh, okay. Holy shit.
I think they both started on Vine.
Oh, okay.
Making vines, and then they got an audience that way. Then you went to YouTube. Dude, their YouTube videos are stupid. They'll just
the original TikTok was Vine.
Yeah, and their YouTube videos they post, and within a day it's like 1.2 million, 1.4 million. It's fucking like, nuts, man.
Okay.
And there's lots of people that do that, and go around doing these shows that are. It's cool that he actually was like. Was it like stand up or was it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he did bits, man. He was doing bits and chunks and one-liners and he gets a lot of lenience though. Obviously, with even his material as far as how dark he can go, he got dark in some spots, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. But his audience. They like all he has to say is whatever, like shut up, oh you love it, and they laugh, and all the boyfriends that are there with their girlfriends laugh, because that's what his audience is. But that's a crowd, and I guess that's a feasible way to do stand up.
That's mostly,
but you have the fucking millions of people online.
That's the way it's that's the way it's going. But then there's also thankfully there is still that audience that loves like pure stand up, but they now consume it like because they want fucking like they don't get to see you do stand up a lot,
right?
Like especially their favorite comedian stuff. So that's where the fucking podcasts come in, and that's where and like people just posting like clips and stuff is like because you have to just stay fucking
relevant. If you don't stay in front of people's faces, you fall off. Like the next person will take that spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately,
somebody else who doesn't even matter if they're funnier than you or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
There's just more shit for people
to fucking watch.
Yeah.
And if your notification bell isn't getting done on their subscriptions, they're not seeing you. You're forgotten about, man.
Gone, yeah,
gone, man. It's brutal.
It's a different game.
It's a whole different game.
Yeah,
like you can't just run the clubs like you used to.
No. And you know what? It's like it is what it is. You gotta
adapt.
Yeah,
you have to fucking adapt.
You gotta be fucking. Now you have to be funny. And for more than 10 minutes a night, you gotta do stuff, man. If you want to fucking if you want to do this shit as a job, you gotta do it as a job. You can't just show up for fucking
when you want.
Yeah.
No, you have to put the time in, man.
Yeah, man. It's fucking it's tough to do, and there's so many people doing it, but you gotta.
That's the world, man. If you want it, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
And I want it. I don't want to do it as a hobby. And so you got even the move, like that's all part of the job.
Yeah.
Because you got to move to where the audience is or where comedy and that job is blooming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not here in Canada at all.
It's not at all,
There's no outlets. Man. So for us, besides, like you said, the CBC.
Yeah.
CTV, I don't care.
I would never. Like, I would rather just put out shit on my YouTube and and stuff like that. And, because, it's not like you're getting a paycheck from fucking CBC. It's not like CBC's fucking, throwing you $100,000 for.
Right. Oh, look at all these royalties I'm getting every week.
Yeah. I want CBC blood money.
A lot of people get, I guess a good route, which I want to do, you got to record an album too, I guess.
Yeah.
And get that shit on the radio. Like Sirius XM is a thing for here for comedy. When it comes to that, a lot of
is there a Sirius XM like Canadian comedy thing?
There is a Canadian thing. I think it's specific Canadian. Maybe not. Maybe it includes Canada, but I don't think it's specific to Canada. But I know that a lot of comedians, that's what they talk about, or they always asking about Sirius XM how to get a part of that, or how to get where do you get your check?
Yeah.
When do they send them out? So when I talk to other comedians, they're talking about that. But I guess it's an album, man. You got to have an album.
Yeah.
Well.
I think an album is more of like the way I look at it is more of like a personal kind of thing. I mean, it is like a piece of material that people can go to, and it kind of like it's an establishing thing. But I think it's also just it's fucking awesome to make an album. It's so cool that you captured that like that point of time.
Yeah. And it's a huge thing because I look at it like you're dumping everything you've worked on right into this album, and then after that album, you start anew again.
Yeah, and it's cool, the fucking the whole artwork and the like, and everything that went up to it, and you record the recording night and everything, and people come out, and you fucking pick your outfit. It's a fun little, it's
fucking cool.
It's a fun little theater thing we're doing. And,
it's almost like the new special.
Yeah, it's it's artsy as fuck, and it's kind of like it's like indie shit.
I love it.
It is cool. I think the albums are fucking awesome, and
and then that way also, you put your album up, you could. I don't know. What's a Juno? Does a Juno mean anything even? Right? It's a Juno winner of the comedy album of the year.
Has a Juno ever meant anything?
No.
Who the fuck has ever watched a Juno award?
Fuck, man. It's brutal, right? Like, who gives a fuck?
What is that, dude?
But that's a credit for all these comedians. I see a lot of comedians, Juno album of the year, that are based in Vancouver, too. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck Junos, man.
Junos, that's crazy.
Right? I'm surprised it's still a thing.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that's ever watched a Juno Award, like, it's ever cared. Like if somebody was just like, oh
shit, I have to go watch this movie or hear this album. Oh, they're Canadian. I better go buy that. They were an album of the year.
Do people have that kind of like thing when it comes to Canada, where it's just like they like inherently want to support Canadian?
No, man.
They just
want Canadian even watches the Junos.
Yeah,
we don't even support that shit.
I think I have some people that I went to school, college with. They're like really good friends with my buddy who was my roommate. And he went on tour with them and stuff. They're a great fucking band. I'm pretty sure they got nominated for a Juno, and stuff. And like, they probably like maybe like fucking retweeted it or something, and they were just like, whatever. Like,
but it's
fucking
true.
Juno,
did their career blow up?
They're doing fine without it. Exactly. It does nothing to them. You know where all their fans are? Their fans are in the UK. They're fucking like in the States.
They don't even know what the fucking Junos
They built it all online themselves. Yeah. The Junos does nothing for them. No, the Junos wouldn't give a fuck about them. They see that they're doing well, and they're just like, oh, we can,
They just look at the numbers, and they're like, oh, they're from Canada.
Yeah.
So let's nominate them.
Yeah.
That's
and,
it, man.
and like, I mean,
that's how I feel, man.
I don't like that's insane. Could you imagine going to anybody in the States just being like, yeah, like I'm a Juno I'm a Juno nominated comedian and whatever. They'd be like,
what the fuck is that?
They'd be like, okay,
is that for special ed or something?
Sign the open mic list.
Yeah. You want me to let you at 4?
Yeah, yeah. There's like, you have 5 minutes. Like, who gives a fuck? Yeah.
All right, guys, coming to the stage.
Yeah.
Juno award win. Juno? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Even in the States though, like, I mean, a Grammy nominated fucking whatever, because it's not about the comedy. It's being decided by people who are not comedy exactly. Consumers or comedy
all
people.
Those things. It's not for the
people. It's a fucking little.
What was the last one? Kids' Choice Awards, I think, are from the people. That's it.
I would be pumped to win a Kids' Choice Award. Yeah.
I want a surfboard.
Yeah, I want a surfboard. There's like with like slime on it or something, and there's like you're really good at comedy. I'm like, yeah, thanks, guys.
MTV Awards, your golden popcorn.
Yeah. I think they still do those.
Do they?
Probably.
Blockbuster Awards. Jesus Christ.
But
they all mean more than the Junos anyway.
The Junos is absolutely nothing.
What a joke.
That's insane. Literally, the movie Juno has more relevance than the awards ever have.
I hope that takes over what people say Juno. You mean the movie?
Yeah. They're just like, I think she was in the movie Juno. I think that's what she said. There's like the movie from the 2000s. They're like, I don't know. She said something about Juno. Like, or they said something about Juno. Like.
You mean what Elliot Page was in?
Yeah. When Elliot Page was pregnant? That movie?
The prequel to Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. I remember that movie. Okay, let's quickly get back to so when you got really fucking healthy, because I mean, I think this is really like relevant for people and really relatable of going through.
Because I'm going through that journey again.
Going through dips of, people that get really healthy and, and like change their life or whatever. And then things happen in life and naturally as it does. And then, those habits fall out and then just how hard it is to stop it before it becomes a problem again. And then going back down through these. I think it's just a consistent wave of life that people deal with. But
absolutely.
So when you got really healthy that one time, what were like your big changes? Like, what'd you do? What sparked kind of the switch?
What sparked was my buddy, like I mentioned earlier, that moved out here, my best friend from Ontario, Andrew. When we were in Ontario, we moved in together. We became roommates, and then that was it. Like he's been doing the workout thing. That's his life.
Yeah.
So when I moved in with him, it was a lot easier to control. Okay, the food that's in the house.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that was a huge.
So environment was a big.
Huge. And if he's going to the gym every day, I'm like, oh, I'll come along.
Yeah.
Like, so we started this thing. The huge thing was changing my diet to I was just eating like chicken, rice, and vegetables, man. Most of the time that was it, chicken breast. That was the meal after every gym workout.
Yeah.
So I'd work all day, go straight to the gym we'd be at the gym for 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Actually working or doing the fucking, or doing the gym thing. Yeah.
Fucking texting.
Yeah.
You know, the texting machine?
Yeah.
That fucking thing hurts,
yeah,
man. My thumbs are so huge. No, because the process is we do it proper, and he brought me through the proper process, and I was a big dude. Like I couldn't just go there and start using all the machines I'd never done. So he brought me through it properly. We'd go. We'd actually stretch for 10 minutes. We'd actually stretch, which nobody does. So there's 10 minutes. And then you start with cardio for 20 minutes. I do a 20-minute elliptical.
Yeah.
So there's a half an hour already, and that's in between time. And then we do 2 muscle groups, and we do 3 different workouts for each one on each day. So and then afterwards we'd go into the sauna for fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And just fucking sweat.
Yeah.
And in the whole time frame from beginning to end with all that included, that's 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was 6 days a week, man.
Yeah,
and then
phenomenal.
I bought a sauna suit.
Nice.
And I had an elliptical for home.
Yeah.
And I was just wearing the sauna suit and elliptical every morning before work too.
Yeah.
I lost fucking 180 pounds.
Holy shit.
I got from 400 to 200 in the year and a bit.
In a year and a bit?
Yeah. I lost a lot of weight fast.
Oh my God.
So I was doing these detoxes too. These herbal detoxes that you buy. I forget what they're called, Dr. Rose or something. And it's...
you on the Slim Fast?
These things were, you had to take 2 tablets. There's 3
they're tablets.
There's 3 different bottles of tablets, so 2 of each, so 6 tablets in the morning.
Yeah.
Plus this drops that you put into your juice or something.
Okay.
It's like 40 drops of this liquid. It's really disgusting. So
they couldn't have found a way to make it more potent. 40 drops. Jesus Christ!
I know. And you just got this drop.
What the fuck?
I learned that 40 drops was the full thing.
Yeah.
So I just fill it up and dump it
in.
And then you could only eat certain foods, and you do that for 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do that every 6 months, every 4 to 5 months. I do that for 12. The amount of weight you lose on that with the working out was especially at my size as a man too, and if you're working hard, you can lose weight fast.
Yes.
Especially in a sauna suit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I would go in the sauna suit too.
Crazy.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful, and I loved every minute of it. I actually enjoyed it. But the problem, there's other tools that you need for when that person's not there, or when things outside of the gym happen in your life mentally or in relationships.
Yeah.
If you don't have those tools, you're going to go back to your old habits and it's going to happen. And I fucking miss that every day, and I worked hard at it, but I know I can do it.
Yes.
And then since this whole ulcer thing, I've quit drinking. Like I used to be a big drinker. So since July 1st, no drinks, fucking sober as fuck, no Red Bulls, no fucking certain foods, no late night eats. I can't anyway. It's hard. Like I barely have an appetite. The fatigue is real from it. So I'm using a lot of hydrolyte in my water just to get my nutrients and fucking be able to just get through my day.
Yeah.
So my life for the past, since the first, it's a huge wake up call.
Yeah.
My lifestyle had gone off track hugely. But the thing is, I'm happy. The problem was I was enjoying it. I was a very functioning alcoholic, like highly functioning, working daily, drinking nightly, doing comedy immediately after work, like always on the go. Nothing slowed me down. And I'm a workaholic type. And I would get out after the show. I'm so happy. I'm celebrating alone, drinking.
Yeah.
Like I just go home and fucking
Well, that's
drink.
just,
but I'm on such a high from the
that's
show.
just every guy that's grew up in Ontario.
Right. Dude, we're built that way, right?
Yeah.
And I just wake up fresh to go.
And you think that, you're just like, this is
wrong.
This is just how it goes.
And I'm like, well, it's hard to change your life when you're so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not depressed. I'm not sad. I feel great. I'm doing comedy.
Yeah.
Like, all that mattered to me was doing comedy.
Well, that was the thing is I think the
comedy.
high of the comedy was kind of,
Huge.
like clouding the fact that you were just like, maybe I'm not making all the
100%. None of it was the great choice,
Yeah.
like the food-wise and the drinking. Absolutely not. But I wasn't seeing the effects from it. So I didn't feel like I needed to change. And then, boom, like, just immediate this happens, It's a bit of a scare. And I'm like, okay, fuck. I shouldn't do any of that. So immediately because I'm afraid, like now it's more of a deterrent. Like I'm afraid what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If I go drink or if I eat this and that, I know I'm going to suffer.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. And it's been a bit easier, but it took this long to get back to it. So I'm going to start that journey again. Once I figure out and have that procedure on the 29th, they're doing that gastroscopy or whatever, and they put a scope in, they're going to check me out. Once I find out what's going on and I get myself back to feeling good, I have a gym in my condo, like I could easily be going to every day.
Yeah.
And just do that. Start the life.
Sauna and everything there?
They do. They have a sauna too, man.
There you go.
Fuck.
Start that same shit. And how fucking good did you feel doing that?
Never felt better, man.
Mentally.
Fuck.
People will talk about the physically, like getting into shape. It's not even about that. The fucking routine of constantly doing work like that, 2 hours a day, and like the sauna of just like, sweating and having that blood flow and everything.
That feeling
changes your brain and just your entire body chemistry like so much. You're literally a different person.
You are.
And
I took myself off my antidepressants while working out.
Yeah.
And I had been on them from the age of 13 till I was 30 when I started that journey, or 32, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I had been on these pills, and I'm diagnosed as bipolar disorder, manic depressive, all those things. But I found out I was just unhealthy, I think.
Yeah.
And the exercise took that away. Not immediately, but once I saw these huge changes and I started feeling that fucking feeling of, oh my God, I felt better. Like you said, you feel better, you look better. You like, even just the shopping for new clothes and being able to buy clothes at a store.
Yeah.
And I cut out my fucking meds completely, and I haven't been back on them since. I'm not saying that, like, everybody has a roller coaster life.
Yes.
Like, and I think now I've witnessed it. I know my cure for my fucking whatever is health. It's not a medication.
Yes. And
100%.
I think for the majority of people, that is the case and should be the case, but it's hard work.
And no, that's not a first option. It's easier to take a pill.
It's hard work. And that's the thing is that, everybody doesn't want to do that.
No.
But they also don't understand that, like, that will, when you took the antidepressants, did it make you feel, did it just like remove like some of the negative, and like add positive, or
no? Because
I feel like taking care of your health is like swings the pendulum so heavily from the negative to where you're just like, you feel like alive.
Yeah.
Like, do the antidepressants make you feel alive or just not dead?
Actually, I was a robot.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah. So it just makes you feel
it feels you nothing. It makes you feel nothing.
That's not life.
That's not life. Dude.
Yeah.
If anything, these pills were like, you get skin fucking weird side effects. Like massive nightmare, like insane nightmares.
Fuck.
Plus, sometimes your skin felt like it was crawling. Sometimes it would give me the same feeling of doing cocaine when I'd have a drip or something. It was nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And that was my life for so long.
From 13 to 30.
Yeah. And it wasn't like one pill. It was because when you start going through that process from the age of 13 and they throw you in the system of, oh, he's depressed, so let's get him pills. There are so many different antidepressants, and they're like, oh no, we got to find the one that works for you.
Yeah.
So it's a few months on this, a few months on this, a few months on this.
You're a fucking
lab
your
whole life.
Yeah.
Until you find something. And I found one that just made me fucking numb, and I just stayed on that from the age of like 25 up.
So instead of like, analyzing your life and trying to, kind of change habits and like, you know, just fixing things that way. They're just like, let's throw medications at them. Let's test.
Not once did they suggest that.
Yeah, they didn't suggest, you know, different foods, exercise programs, you know, like certain lifestyle stuff, like, you know, watching TV, too much screen time, not enough time spent outdoors, like other factors like that. They're just like, let's test them with a bunch of pills.
I cannot remember a single time they even mentioned that could be the cause. It was more of, come back next week and we'll see how the pills are affecting you. We'll see if this is the one.
Yeah.
And I did inpatient programs at the hospital there where, outpatient is called, I think, where it was like school. I'd go to this program at the hospital from 9 a.m. till 3 where they're trying to teach you tools to deal with but the tools they're teaching you is like, the psychiatrist that's there and therapist, they give you medication and then you go through, I don't know, it was like summer camp. But they're not teaching you anything, but you're inside these 4 walls with other people who are fucked up.
So just like summer camp for schizophrenics?
Dude, it was so crazy.
And they were just like, you know, don't, you know, chase your family with a knife.
The whole time I felt like, man, I'm nothing like these people, man.
But I feel like that's, you know, and that's scary for a lot of kids. And,
I was a kid.
And parents, you know, don't necessarily know because they didn't grow up, especially fucking, you know, generation before, whatever. They didn't grow up understanding or knowing fucking
anything
health, about mental health,
period.
Just health in general. And the fact that physical health and mental health are
so
connected in a way. And how, you know, like different foods will change your brain, change the way you think, change the way you behave, the way you act. And, you know, how watching TV instead of reading a book will change how you behave and act and just how you feel about the world and yourself. They know nothing about that. So when their kid's like off, they take them to a doctor whose job is to literally like throw products at these fucking people. And then and
they're gonna listen to the doctor
because they think the doctors are,
oh my god, the doctor says he has this.
It blew my fucking parents' mind when I started learning all this shit at like 18 or whatever. Just took interest in it myself. And actually, because of the Joe Rogan podcast, listening to certain people on there and just listening to different,
hearing other
options, or people that are outside of that system, or people that were doctors that were like, I don't agree with what the system currently is, and then researching myself and testing, you know, stuff myself, where I was just like, dude, these doctors, especially like a family doctor, I was like, they don't fucking know anything. Nothing. I've said it like multiple times on this podcast that family doctors are basically just glorified secretaries. That you go there and they're just like, you know, like unless it's something they could be like, Pepto-Bismol or Advil. They're just like, let me refer you to my friend who knows what the fuck's going on. Like they don't fucking.
Here's a referral.
Yeah, they just book you for somebody else. They're just a fucking secretary. They're a secretary in a fucking lab coat. Like it's retarded. It's like, what is your job, bro?
What do you do, man?
Yeah, what do you do? What do you know about health?
Yeah, what are these diplomas on the wall?
Yeah, man. Just for you to just be like, here, take this, get the fuck out of here, go see my friend who knows what's up.
You need an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah.
Or, you need a foot specialist.
Yeah, they're just like, I'll weigh you. I can step on a scale myself, pal. I can push the fucking little thing over. I can, you know. Yeah, I know how to tap the fucking thing over.
The doctor doesn't even do it. The girl at the front does it.
Yeah, all the nurses do the whole thing. It doesn't make any sense. So, like, the fact that I said to my parents, I was like, these doctors don't know fucking anything. Like, and they don't care to keep up. A lot of them don't care to keep up with the current stuff or changing science.
That's right.
They'll just, and you know what? I don't even blame them because I don't, you know, it's a job. At the end of the day, once you've been in your job for a while, you don't give a fuck anymore. You don't care.
Waiting for the day
There's other things going on in life. They're not focused on your health. They don't give a new boat. They don't give a fuck, bro. They're thinking about Spain coming up in a couple months. They're going to Spain with their family.
Kids on their desk.
You know, their kids. You know, their kids threatening to shoot the school, so they're just like they're focused on that. Their kids,
exactly.
They're not keeping up with what the fuck's going on. Yeah. So you putting your blind faith in these people is insane to me. And just being like, they know what's best. The fuck they do.
The fuck they do, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that mentality has changed a lot.
Yeah.
And it's because of the internet. And it's because of
access to information.
Exactly. And that's how my parents were. They were just like, oh, he's got that. Okay, cool. Oh, the prescription must be serious. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah. So was it your parents' idea to take you in just to see?
No, it was my own. My parents were too religious and too fucking. Right. My dad's like an evangelist that travels the world.
So the depression was. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I'm a preacher's kid.
Hold on a second.
And he preached at one of the biggest churches in Toronto too. Man.
What?
and I don't see my dad.
He travels. Where is he like? Is he like Joel Osteen?
India. He's Joel Osteen, dude.
No way.
He spent so much time in India, Jamaica. He
Yeah.
goes to all these places and just stays there with these ministry groups and
Wow.
preaches to these tribes and shit, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised someone with an arrow hasn't taken him out in the woods. He's traveled to the wrong beach. Yeah, no, I haven't talked to him in a long time. Yeah, he was a brutal man growing up.
Yeah.
So I grew up in an environment, and my parents are very old. I'm the youngest of 8 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mom's 40 years older than me. So she had me when she was 40.
Yeah.
So they don't even understand certain things of our generation. They're actually like 2 generations.
Yeah.
past me,
Yeah.
You know, and most of my
Yeah.
siblings were more of aunts and uncles than because there's 10
Right.
years difference between even me and
Yeah.
the second
I mean,
youngest.
yeah.
Like my oldest sister is 60 something years old. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. So it's a weird upbringing of feeling like an only child, but youngest of 8.
But also having so many.
And then in such a religious home where we weren't allowed to discuss much or even watch much. It was more just read your Bible, pray
discuss
every day.
anything.
Yeah,
Discuss anything.
Couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
Half the time.
You know, and especially even when you do talk, you're not talking about each other or yourself.
No.
It's talking
There's
about
nothing
other.
personal.
Yeah, nothing personal.
Nothing.
Nothing about like yourselves
what
or
you're going through.
Yeah, no.
There's no talks.
Yeah, and like my family was like that is post-religious. So my dad grew up in a fucking religious household. So even though we didn't go to church and carry that on, that type of mentality still exists in the house where we don't talk about like your feelings or your like, you know, like the fact that I brought up to my mom or whatever that I dealt with so much depression and anxiety. She was like, I don't understand what the fuck.
That's exactly it. I try to talk to them, and that's what it was.
And she was like, I don't think like she's like, I've never experienced like that, and I was like, no, you have. You just don't know how to recognize it, or that you weren't even told that it was allowed to be a feeling that
that's
you have.
not an option.
I was like, it's not whether you have it or not. Everybody deals with depression and anxiety. It's just a human emotion.
Right.
I know some people have adopted it as a personality, but it's not, you know, like it's their whole life.
That's right.
But it's
100%.
Everybody deals with it.
Yeah.
And there's people that have it on, you know, varying degrees. There's some people that have it very bad, and, you know, a lot of them, you know, don't, but like to say they do because they're not just uninteresting people.
That's right. They have to have it. They have to have an identity.
Yes, and they also have to have a crutch that, you know, for why they fail at everything.
A reason for why they suck.
Yeah, why they fail at everything, and you know, you wouldn't want to be like, I suck because I
don't try hard enough.
I don't try. Right. I don't better myself. You know, it's just like
there's
like
only be one.
Yeah, I'm great the way I am. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone else is the
I'm
problem.
still going to be on the cover of this magazine.
I should be.
I deserve to be.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're racist.
Oh, I will be. Oh no, you don't understand. I will be on the cover of this magazine.
I don't have to change a thing about me.
Yeah.
You have to change.
Yeah, you guys are the
Your
problem.
perspective has to change. Yeah, if we spoke about anything or if I said anything like that, the answer was prayer.
Yeah.
It wasn't any reality.
And how did that work for you?
Oh, look at me. Look at me, dude. I hope they're praying for my bleeding ulcer right now so I can fucking feel better. It was hard. No, it was a lifetime of me having to figure things out on my own.
Yes.
And that's the problem. I had to, and when you were raised that, my dad was the opposite, where he didn't get religious until like a year before I was born. Fucking thanks. Awesome.
The fuck was he doing before?
I didn't get to enjoy the smoking dad who was drinking. Awesome. And what a fucking, I just got.
I didn't get the awesome.
I didn't get the awesome one. I got this fucking straight laced motherfucker who just didn't have a clue about family or love.
Yeah, this dork with a fucking white collar on. This fucking
who had to go to this church and it takes a lot to break out of that mentality and to do it on
your
own. Oh my
god, yes, yeah.
Because half of my siblings they didn't, and now they're turning into.
They carried it on, yeah.
I talked to my sister about it, and she's like, "We're praying for you." I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
just shut up. I don't even want to talk to you about anything. This is a real problem that we could actually have a talk.
Yeah, I know, right?
We'll pray about it. Okay, cool.
No, what?
There's just no talk or help or any problems I ever had growing up. I couldn't talk to anybody because that was the answer.
Yeah, it means less than nothing.
It means less than nothing. Yeah. It's actually insulting.
It is insulting. It is insulting.
Like, it's fucking insulting, especially know I don't give a shit about your prayers as well. Take them up with someone else.
Yeah.
So it took a while to break out of that, but once I learned, like you said, I started reading, I started learning other things, and it started with first trying to study the history of that religion and theology, and you start finding none of what they told me on Sunday was actually true to history.
Yeah.
It's not history what they're preaching about, it's religion. So once you start learning those things, you start looking at it differently, and you start realizing, okay, I have to stop thinking I'm going to hell for everything I do. And that was the thought. You feel guilty about everything. Like, we weren't allowed to watch certain shows growing up. We weren't allowed to listen. I wasn't allowed to listen to music, and I turned out to be a huge metalhead who just wants nothing but music. It became the biggest part of my life. And comedy, everything I wasn't allowed to do, I became pretty much.
Well, that's how it fucking goes.
That's how it fucking goes.
That's how it goes.
Look what you get if you become, if you raise someone in your stupid religion. And like, this is not knocking all religious people.
No.
My dad was an extremist that controlled, and he was abusive. This is different. I'm not talking about, I've met many lovely, and I know a lot of lovely people that I grew up with and their families from church who are normal, fucking decent people.
Well, just like anything, religions can be abused by, people that
And that's what he did for money and all that. And control and power. That's the Joel Osteen.
Yes, shit. It's a very... It's a business. It's a great way. If you're gonna do it, it's a great way to like fucking scam people and control people.
In the world, man.
Religions. And so I mean, it's literally the best way because it's like protected by government. It's fucking people give blind faith, and it's the greatest spot to scam people.
They found
and
the
like
fucking secret, dude. To fucking scam. Like, that's it. Like, you create this imaginary thing where you want to. Now we have to control you in this life because. It's all about the next life. Right? Like, nothing is about what's happening now, and that's the problem too. Is my parents were doomsday people, where it's like nothing is done for the world you're in. It's like, what about the world after? So it doesn't matter what you're dealing with now. They couldn't care about the world. They only care about, it doesn't matter. Jesus is coming soon, or when we die, we're gonna go to a better place anyway. So who cares about this place?
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then when you mix that religion in with other things like politics and shit, it becomes a huge issue, and not real issues get solved.
Yeah.
And it's a great, like we said, it's a great business. It's the perfect thing. But when you're raised in it and you're the child of it, it's the worst environment, dude. The worst.
That's a crazy upbringing. Yeah. That's a crazy upbringing, man.
Yeah. So it took a long time for me to break out of that thinking and learn on my own.
Well, it is like your fucking mind is just like formed. Formed about that. And like the fact that you're, a functioning person at all is fucking phenomenal.
True. You're absolutely right.
That on top of pills since you were 13, like, I mean, you like, they've been trying to fucking kill you since you came out. They've been trying to fucking the fact that you're still a free thinking person in any way and not like just fucking like,
there was obviously a huge struggle somewhere in there. Something had to happen.
Yeah. And you have to go through that shit to come out on the other side and be a free thinking person.
To be a free thinking, loving person. Yeah. Another human being, not only needing to testify to people, but to actually connect with people.
Yeah.
On a human level.
And and on top of that, I think also being a person that's like willing to take the chances and risks of I'm going to move, I'm going to chase something that I'm going to work for something that that I love, that I want to pursue. That's also like that's a different type of person.
Jumping out of that comfort zone, dude. I didn't have a job like when I moved.
You didn't have a place until the day before.
Until the day before. It was just about I just came to the thought of, fuck, if I don't do it now, all I'm gonna do is regret that. Yeah. Up until this moment.
And that's fucking.
And that's just.
It's unacceptable,
man. And by doing that, I learned and then that's a huge lesson in life, and the proof that just fucking plan it and do it, and it will work out. It'll fucking work out every time. If you're true about this change and you truly work at it and you want something, it will work out no matter what. Yeah. No matter what. Just fucking do it. Make that step. And then all of a sudden you'll start, these opportunities comes when you think everything's bleak. Be like, oh shit, look at this. Oh shit. I had a job within 10 days of being here just by applying while I got here. I never applied before. And I just brought some savings, and then I fucking sent my resume out online, and I had a job like that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I was doing comedy, and eventually,
and the ball gets rolling,
and I've never been happier, dude. Yeah. And but again, that happiness led to me ignoring health issues.
Yeah.
But mentally wise, I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
No matter
You
what.
just broke out.
I was stuck in a room in this fucking Burnaby and not knowing anybody in a new country.
Yeah.
But I was happy.
Yeah. It's, I mean, fuck, man. Just that, taking that leap too, and just like, it's massive. And it's something that a lot of people can't fucking do.
No.
And
especially, I have a huge group of friends that they all had kids and got married to.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have that opportunity. It's just not there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've never been happier.
Well, that doesn't stop some people. though it should.
It should. It 100% should.
It does not stop all of them.
It's stopping them from making the move to a new place and changing their environment.
Yeah.
Because they just can't.
Yeah.
And they can't now even more because since I've moved here in the 3 years, everyone's wedding that I went to before I came here are now fucking divorced.
Yeah.
Every fucking friend I had,
Yeah.
They were married when I left and have went through these divorces and breakups with kids.
Yeah.
And now you're done.
Yeah.
They're young kids. You can't leave. You need to go where she is.
Yeah.
You're stuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's thought alone keeps me going because I'm like, I never want to be in that position.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. I always grew up going, I want a family as soon as possible. I want kids. And I grew up like I have nephews older than me. It's literally one of my bits. But like I grew up around my nephews over my brothers and sisters. And
right.
I have great nephews. I've always been surrounded by kids and I always loved that part. And I was always the favorite uncle to everybody. And so I was always like, I always wanted that family. And then once my mind started to change and I for a bit, I was sad wasn't getting these relationships all my friends were getting and getting married and having families.
Yeah.
And but it's a blessing.
Yes.
It's a fucking blessing,
I know,
dude.
right?
Now I'm 40 without responsibilities.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well,
it's not the best thing, but no, I mean, like I can move when I want.
Yeah.
I can go
you just
where
have
I need
you
to
just
go.
have freedom and like autonomy. You just with that while those other people where you're having things that you at the time were just like, oh, I would love to have that. Now there's people.
They look at me that way.
And
they all look at me like I'm so jealous.
Like,
I wish I could just fucking do what you're doing.
Yeah.
As in, I need to change. I need to leave. I need to move. I need to go where opportunities are. I could just pack up and go.
Yeah.
I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to worry about my kids.
Yeah.
I don't have to take anybody.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, it's good for comedy because it's not here and I need to move. That's easier to do.
Yeah.
Because
you don't have any ties to.
Don't have no fucking kids.
Yeah. No fucking kids. I know the kids thing is.
It's tough, man. You've made your life until they grow up.
Yeah, man. And I don't know. Fucking like. I don't know how I feel about fucking people having kids like so young.
Oh.
Before they try anything, before they work on themselves, because I don't think
you stop your development.
Yes, and I don't think anybody comes out of like their families or comes out of childhood being like a fucking fully formed
no
really good person,
dude.
There's too much.
I can barely stand 20-year-olds now. Anybody in their 20s, I can barely.
I don't think anybody
you're still kids.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in their 20s should be allowed to have children.
No, it should be illegal.
It's crazy.
Abortion should be mandatory.
Yeah. Like, forget fucking It should be
mandatory until you're 30 something.
Honestly, man, it's fucking and like they don't try anything. They don't fucking like chase after anything and like fail. They don't work on themselves.
It's almost like that's it. Like I could do all that hard work. Or I could just marry my high school sweetheart and have kids and just pass everything and just push it back and push it down. Yeah. And put it on the kids. Put it on the kids, man.
Yeah. And just let time pass
over time. Because I can't do anything. I'm locked down.
Yeah. You put yourself in this situation. You decided to pass it instead of doing the hard work.
Right.
So like, I mean, I would not consider fucking my choice. I mean, like I would.
Your body, your choice.
Yeah. I would not. Thank you so much. I would not like have a kid, and I'm not like going to be like I need to wait until all conditions are optimal. But like until I've, done a lot of work to set myself up into a way that I think is now a good place to bring children.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just throwing a fucking Band-Aid on like a wound, just being like, all right, well, let's just have kids, fucking keep this thing going.
Forget about it. And I feel like that too now. I'm like, I still want kids, or I want a family. I could adopt. I would even adopt, but I would make sure I do it when my career's in a certain spot.
Yeah.
I'm set up.
Yeah.
Everything's going well and everything's good and I've met that person. But until then,
yeah.
Once you bring that in now, like you're just stopping your journey. Man.
Yeah.
You're stopping your path.
Yeah.
I know it sounds horrible to people watching who are just like, oh no, like having a family means everything's over.
No, it doesn't. It
depends what you want.
Yeah.
But if you want to pursue something like comedy or something that needs to take you around and you need to make those decisions, it's not good.
Yeah. It's not, it's not ideal for, if dad's at an open mic while the kid's fucking, the kid's 2.5 and, like mom's got 3 kids at home and dad's doing 5 minutes at Chuckle Fucks or whatever. Like that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like,
it is.
Yeah.
And like, it's that part. Okay. But I mean, like your goal has to be very limited. Like that's your goal then is to do more time at Chuckle Fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not to travel the world and do comedy.
Yeah.
Because how do you do that?
Well, it's just, I mean, that's insane because I don't think you'll be able to put in the work necessary to get to that point while raising a family. Hey,
bedtime
nobody's saying you also got to raise your family. I mean,
that's the thing. That's true. Good point. We're going off the premise that you're good. That you're
dad. Good. Let's actually just be real about it. I mean, even if you are,
some of the best comics have an illegitimate kid somewhere.
Even if you are at home, you're not raising your fucking kids. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Just break out the pad, start writing, and fucking start traveling.
Yeah.
And just tell the wife you're going out for smokes.
Yeah, or fucking whatever. You don't have to tell her anything. Like what the fuck?
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell her anything.
Yeah. The fuck does she deserve? She doesn't need to know.
So you can still do it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. But if you are planning on being a good dad,
you can't be a good.
That's too much.
It's hard to be a successful comedian at that stage.
Yeah, and be such like a present father, and like making sure that your kids aren't gonna grow up as fucked up as you.
Right. Make sure you bring them to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't do that either. Bring them to the open mic. Don't bring them to
bring them to the open mic.
They'll learn more about fucking depression and life.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Real feeling.
Let them do 5. Let them get up there and feel the pressure.
Every age is the minute he has to do. So
yeah.
5-year-old has to do 5.
Yeah, you gotta do 5. You're doing bullet too.
You can't be hack fucking.
Yeah, fucking hack.
Shit. You're a hack. They start heckling.
Screaming the kid.
Oh my god, dude, that's the best idea. Like summer camp for comedians, like kids.
Yeah, the kids.
And by the end of camp, they have to do a set for their parents.
Fuck, man. That'd be fuck.
Just a bunch of knock jokes.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't be fucking.
It'd be better than.
Wouldn't be worse. There was a lot of stuff.
I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen Netflix specials that could probably use a couple jokes from.
Oh fuck! They could use a laughter in the room there. I agree.
So the new sober thing, are you gonna stick with that, or what's the plan?
I want to. So even last year, I went 9 months sober last year. From January. Ironically,
full sober,
like just alcohol, no alcohol. I smoke weed.
Okay.
But from ironically the January 6th fucking insurrection, from that night, I've been sober until September.
So once you got back from Washington, you were like, I'm just gonna take a bit off of drinking. Things got a little too crazy.
Okay, guys, that was a wild weekend. We're gonna have to fucking.
I think we gotta chill out for a little bit.
Can we hold off on the Jaeger bombs for a bit?
That was crazy.
Guys, did you see that? I fucking jumped through a window, dude.
I had the podium in my hand.
I was in Pelosi's office, dude. Did you see that shit? That was nuts. I have to go back actually to just for some sort of court.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, court or something.
So it just I don't know why it happened that night, but so I moved back in with my buddy Andrew that I lived with in Ontario. That got me healthy, and my best friend. I live with him now. So I moved out of that place I rented on Craigslist in Burnaby. I moved to Surrey, but a beautiful condo. I have to say, but a beautiful, because once you say Surrey, people think.
Yeah, I've never spent time down there, but I just like
Dude, if you're from Brampton, you're gonna love Surrey, man. Surrey is the shit, dude.
Well, I was born in Brampton. I didn't live there, so.
Oh, okay, that may be different then.
But I mean, I spent a lot of time in Brampton, and I wouldn't necessarily say I love
home,
it.
bro. I fucking love. I don't know if I love Brampton either, but Surrey is the Brampton I want.
Okay.
Like,
it's what I always imagined Brampton could be.
It was for a minute, and then it got overboard. But Surrey just feels more at home, man. And it feels like there's a lot of sirens. It's constant sirens.
Right.
I get it, but it's become the Surrey anthem.
Yeah,
it's just the sirens constantly. But I have a beautiful spot in a 24th floor with beautiful view, and loving it, living with my best bud again. And so, I guess. Now so last year when I moved in with in December, drank a bit there, but by January 6th, I guess, it felt odd because he was such a health nut, and here I am drinking alone in my room, and I was like, you know what, I could just, and for some reason it was so easy, and I just stopped. There was no health scare, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't drinking from that night until my birthday on the 14th in September. I had a show. I fucking go do the show. They tell everybody I'm 40, and I just turned 40. I get up there. Immediately, shots are getting passed up the table at King's Head to me while I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they're like, happy birthday. And I was like, fuck, okay, here goes. And I took the shot, and I've been drinking hard ever since again.
Yeah.
I love to drink. This is the problem. Because I'm a happy drunk, too, and it's not a depressant for me, in a sense. Alcohol puts me in a good spot mentally, it feels like. But it's
what about after, the day after?
No, that's the thing. I'm such a high-functioning alcoholic. I get up. So I wake up throughout the night, and every time I did it around 5 a.m., I'd pop 2 Advil and chug a bunch of water, go back to sleep. Wake up for work, perfect, dude. Just perfect. Like, and I'm like, all right, we're doing it again.
Yeah.
This today, let's do it. And I'd go to a show and do the same thing. And I started doing that. But no, mentally it was great. Physically, it's destroyed me.
Yeah.
Because I started doing it a lot because I didn't see any negatives from it besides my bank account.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. Fuck. So since July 1st, I've noticed, hey, I got all this extra money.
Yeah.
So
Christ.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stick to it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like I said, this is the wake up call to a new life of health. Where now I'm gonna start. Once I figure out what's going on and get my energy back and and figure shit out and get a proper diet again.
Yeah.
And what I can eat and what doesn't fucking destroy me. I'm gonna get back into the gym, and I know what I have to do. I did it once, and I can do it again. I know the path. I know exactly what I have to do. I'll get another sauna suit, and I'm just gonna crush it.
Yeah, good, man. And honestly, I think it'll really help with your fucking comedy as well. Just the amount of brain power you'll fucking have, just a clearer head of just, you're not focused on fucking, well, you just don't have fucking alcohol brain,
right?
Which, I mean, even if that's good, you didn't feel the effects.
I didn't drink before shows or anything.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah.
I hated that. And I didn't want to be in a different, but you're right. I still not my full potential. There's more potential even still.
Yeah.
And I was happy with what I was already giving out.
Right. Yeah.
I know that I barely tapped into it.
Yeah. And just like, and just not even like, I mean, instead of, the like drinking for the night or whatever, if you like took that time to work on something else, like go home and fucking do something like,
Well, that's the thing. I would go home, I'd take my video, upload it, start drinking, edit it, and while I'm drinking, and I know just
little simple habits like that, right?
Habits like that. And but now I have to learn those tools, and I have to learn how to keep those. Now that I made the change, I have to learn to fight the temptations. What comes after, and because your life changes when you get healthy in every way. Like people look at you different. Other opportunities start coming around. That's the thing too, man. You get more opportunities when you just look better and you feel like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, nobody's putting me on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover.
Well, I think, and you know what, we're going to change that.
Yeah, we're going to fucking change that.
And this starting today, Jay. Actually, that's
why I'm here.
Yeah. I actually have a rep coming. I threatened.
I brought my suit.
I threatened their business. So I told them that we're gonna get you dressed up, and we're gonna. Listen, nothing weird, but we're gonna do some We're gonna do some pictures today. Okay. We're gonna do some pictures today, you're gonna be the next cover model.
I get it. I know people want to see beautiful people or people who are it's been proven that people who are over 6 feet are more successful in business.
Yeah,
and that's just a thing.
Yeah.
They're looked at differently. You're just perceived.
Well, and I think
right?
it's also just like it's a mentally, a way that they carry themselves. They just come in more confident because they're told that, 6 feet or whatever, that they're like a part are a part of this fucking club of like, these tall guys.
Everyone on Tinder.
Yeah. So, so they just carry that kind of confidence. But if you were just a fucking dude, if you're 5'6" and walked around like you're 6'3", I'm sure you would do just as fine in business.
Very true.
It's just like, it's a mentality.
It's just, yeah.
And it's the same way that I feel with like, people that are bigger, that if they just carry themselves with a fucking, like just an energy about them that is like, beautiful and nice, whatever, beautiful person. But then if you carry yourself with that energy of like just anger and like everybody, listen, you're not ugly because of the way you look. You're ugly because you're a fucking ugly person.
Yeah. No, that's totally true. And me as a bigger person, I've always still carried myself a certain way. I try not to carry the whatever that attitude may be, and always looking sloppy or things like that. I've always presented myself in a certain way, but I've been there. I've been there where you're healthy and you're fit, and I see the difference, and I know how you're treated differently, and so what am I going to do? Go on a campaign and tell everyone not to do that? Or am I just going to become that person and experience that again?
What's the better route?
That's
there?
right.
Change human behavior, or change yourself?
Your fucking self.
That's it, man. You're going to change society as a whole and to
now,
conform to like that's. But that's what
society does.
That's what a lot of people now think is the course of action.
You have to accommodate me.
Is to change everything around them to fit their, whatever they think, instead of being like, well, if maybe I should work on myself.
And then that will change.
And that
anyway.
will,
that comes with it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many side effects of being healthy and fit.
Yeah.
The side effects of that are numerous. Like
it's like, you
can't even count them.
It's immeasurable. Like you can't you can't.
And all of a sudden you're in a different world where you're not thinking about all that negative shit and how people perceive you and how you're doing and this and that. You're just, everything's on you. And people, I understand the respect of seeing someone who, like, you see a really fat person and you're like, okay, already you're perceiving they don't have control of things of themselves and things like, and I get that. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh no, I need fat pride and this and that. Fuck that.
You're not a fat activist?
It's not healthy. It's not fucking healthy.
Jay, careful.
Dude, I said this on my buddy Mark Hughes podcast, and I think it's what got me fired from, or it was the beginning of getting me fired from a comedy production company.
What?
Yeah.
For saying...
So I went on the podcast. Yeah, dude.
A comedy company?
I wasn't sure if I was going to get into it, but yeah, I worked... So there was a company here, like I said, Laugh Wild or whatever, that was based
Laugh
here.
Wild, but not, don't you say fat isn't healthy.
Right. So I went on this podcast and I just said, I understand, like, it's not healthy. It doesn't matter how you feel or how you look. We shouldn't promote it because it's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And I said that, and things changed around me. My boss started fucking not communicating with me and things, and they're an actress from Vancouver, so you know how they already are.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I got shamed and fucking shunned out of my job, and then eventually fired for. That was the beginning part, though, when I started to notice work changed, like, and my boss and stuff.
So because of an opinion you hold,
because my opinion of, I don't agree that you should be promoting unhealthy lifestyles.
Right.
Even I get it, I'm unhealthy. That's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm trying, I'm fighting, and I struggle every day.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go and promote and say it's okay to be this big.
Yes.
I'm not saying that. And I will never say that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, it's not healthy.
And
if you want to be, like, you can do what you want, but if you want to be healthy, you can't say you're healthy and be fat like that.
Yeah.
You can't.
You know how insane it is that, like...
Why is that such a radical thought?
I was going to say, the fact that it's just like, wow, Jared's so brave right now for saying this. Like, it's so crazy.
That shouldn't even be a thought. That's common sense.
I mean, it's insane that right now, like, that you saying that, my thought is just like, is just like, wow, like, he's coming out and saying that people are going to have a problem with that. Instead of me just looking at you and just be like, hey, yeah, no shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, you don't have to say it.
Hey,
we
man,
all know that.
No shit,
right?
Dude. Like,
exactly. Yeah, and this is what happened to us, dude.
Yeah, man.
See how our minds have even changed?
Yeah. I mean, and like, dude, that's the least problematic thing that's been said on this fucking podcast. I mean, it's, and that's what, like, I don't give a fuck about trying to, I mean, this is not a fucking, this podcast would upset a lot of people. Yeah. Because
okay, I wasn't sure where you wanted to go with some things, but I can tell you the day I got fired and what it was for. It was for a Facebook post.
Fucking please.
It's a Facebook post.
Fucking please. I'd love to hear this.
So the day DMX died.
Okay. I love everything goes like everything has like a significant.
I tie everything to because the post had to do with this. Okay. So DMX died that day, and I wrote a post on Facebook that had to do with so when I used to live in Alberta, where I was shipped from Ontario to Alberta to live with my sister when I was 16 until I was 18.
Okay.
And I finished high school there and that. While I was there, though, no parental supervision, anything. I was sometimes living on the streets and stuff like that. Wow. And me and my friend, we would break into cars and steal car stereos and their speaker boxes. Yeah. It was a time when everyone had a speaker box in their trunk. They were bumping 15s or 212s, and the car was banging.
Fuck yeah.
So we would sell those or whatever. How we tested how good those speakers were. Okay,
young entrepreneurs.
This is 25 years ago. Yeah. Okay, as well. This is not me now or anything. Yeah. Let me explain that. Like, it obviously that goes without saying. Obviously, you're a kid. Yeah. You do what you can.
And you were trying to survive.
I was trying to fucking survive.
Yeah.
I'm in Red Deer alone, fucking freezing the fucking
Jesus
death.
Christ.
Exactly. Everyone, it was just a bunch of rich people in trucks.
That's all you did. I think that was the least, evangelism coming out of you. You're just like, listen, all we're going to do, I mean, we could just, rob people at gunpoint. But
we would take their decks and we would take their speaker boxes if we could. And the way we tested how good the speaker boxes were, we would play DMX's first 2 albums. Because they were fucking bangers. Yeah. Like it's dark in hell. It's
like, the barks are very crystal clear.
Dude,
these are
barks,
good.
Dude, oh my god, these 212s. Listen to these barks.
Yeah,
this is not a fucking game. Rough Riders. Yeah, and I wrote a post saying, man, DMX meant a lot. I loved him, his first 2 albums, and I gave that story. And I wrote it, and I was like, this is how we used to test the speakers and how good they were. We would play his first 2 albums.
Yeah,
rest in peace, dog. Blah blah blah. I get a call from my boss, a phone call, an hour later, saying, "Hey, I don't think that was a good post for you to put up. I don't want people to think I'm about." She's like, "I'm about to go into an interview, and what if they ask, oh, what are your employees is talking about how they used to steal car stereos?" And she's like, "I was like, oh, okay. I'm shocked. I'm about to do a podcast with my buddy Ty at the time, and I get the call, and I'm like, okay, do you want me to remove it?" She's like, no, I think it's already been enough. I think we should just part ways. And she fired me on the spot.
Yeah.
For a Facebook post about what I did.
About a story 25
years ago. What I did as a child on the streets with no supervision, and what I did to survive. Anybody else, that's a brave story for them. For some reason, and she fired me on the spot that day.
Yeah. And this person runs a comedy company.
She runs a comedy company. She still does today.
A comedy company.
Production company, yeah. So this is the one I used to book 3 shows with a week throughout the pandemic. She was the first one that saw me do comedy my first ever time at Laugh Lines, where House of Comedy is. Used to be called Laugh Lines. She took me under the wing right away and started giving me this position and made me a booker. It's how I got to know all the comedians so fast.
Right.
And I got to accelerate and get better at comedy fast because I was given those positions. And then she did that.
Why does a person that...
And she's still so respected in this comedy community, dude.
Really?
Because it was called Laugh Lines,
she books a bunch of
shows. The name.
She books a bunch of
She's
stuff.
a booker and a female actress, and I guess that's it. And she's given other people now positions, and they book in this city, and they don't.
Is she respected, or is she just somebody that gets people stage time?
That's how she's respected.
Yeah, because I mean, if you can't get people on stage, they don't give a fuck about who you are.
That's me now.
Yeah. So I
stopped booking for them.
Yeah.
I stopped working for them. My life has changed completely in the comedy community. The way I'm perceived, I don't get booked by half the fucking people, man.
Right.
Because they're so loyal to a booker.
Interesting. We'll talk a bit more about that after. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. Like I'm not here to fucking dive in.
Listen.
Whatever.
That's
my story. That happened. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that's some bullshit.
That's crazy.
That's comedy.
Yeah.
Here. That's comedy.
That's crazy. The fact that somebody, hey, people lived lives. And also, who the fuck dude, and there's no way that person has not done anything in their life that's on that level.
Just because I share everything. I share every part of my life, dude.
An open book. And that's not even fucking bad.
I know.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Unless it was your car.
It's a good story.
She's like, I lived there at that time and my car was still good.
Yeah.
Maybe I personally fucking broke into her car. Fuck off with it. Fuck.
That's insane, man. Dude. That's wild.
Every year that memory comes up on my Facebook and I'll repost it.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
Hey, here's the post. I did it this year and it was like, hey, here's the post that got me fired from a comedy company. A comedy company. Like,
yeah. Comedy company.
Like now, like I want people to understand why I want to get the fuck out of this place specifically. Yeah. And comedy doesn't survive here. Is because of my fucking experiences through this.
Yeah.
I was shocked, man. I'm shocked the way this.
I'm not entirely shocked. I mean, it's you know, it's.
Well, I was shocked at the time. I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Now I know. I get it. I see the insides of this community, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I just don't. Yeah. Like, it's. I'm trying to think of what it is, because like, what are they trying to do? Because like, there's I just don't. Yeah. I guess that's where I'm lost. It's like, what are they trying to do? Like, what does that do, removing you from, you know, being a part of this thing? Yeah. Because like, what opportunities are they missing out on? That, you know, are they losing $1 million deal because some person was just like, hey, I saw one of your employees, you know, stole a car stereo 25 years ago. We don't want to work with you. Right. That's not real life. That's fabricated in your head. That's
How
not.
Does that even affect you?
That's not. So it's in. I don't even think if that's the way their brain actually works, they're insane. Like they're a crazy person, but which is not. You know, that could be just. That's probably the case.
Right.
But it's just like that's not real. That's not what's happening. Nobody's not working with you because a comedian said that.
I wonder how much business she lost from that post.
Yeah. It's like, well, actually, we're going to shut your company down because we saw that an employee of yours took a Mars bar from a Walmart 30 years ago. And you know what? We just can't work with fucking violent criminals like that.
I feel threatened.
Yeah, we're just like, I didn't realize you guys were a bunch of gangbangers.
Fuck, man.
Like, what are you fucking talking about,
dude? Man, it's a shock. It was a shock to me then, but I've learned, like, I guess that's the way.
And you got in trouble for? Did you get in trouble explicitly for saying that, you know, fat isn't healthy?
No, but that's when I learned it changed. The
attitude changed the way
the communication.
They're like, okay, he's a Nazi.
You can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell.
I mean, it might have, you know, also when you attended the January 6th thing, that might have also, they might have been like, they might have also been like, maybe we're not so sure about Jay anymore.
I think I saw a picture of him he was trying to get his fat ass through a window. And it was,
stuck in a window. They're like, maybe, you know, maybe
Jay's ass.
Maybe Jay's not the guy we thought he was. And now he's talking about stealing car stereos. This guy's problematic.
Wow, this guy has a past.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's nothing but trouble, bro.
And hey, that's why you got to build your own fucking shit. Because but also, you're out of your goddamn mind if you're sitting around waiting for people that like to give you opportunity or to like if you're like putting your career and your success in comedy in the hands of random people that will drop you for being like, hey, being 900 pounds isn't the isn't optimal for health,
right?
Or,
oh my god,
yeah,
how dare you?
Yeah, there's like, okay, Hitler, like what the
dude? That's what I felt like, man.
Yeah,
that was the feeling, like I was some horrible person for speaking up on that.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, Christ, but also like, hey, and if they want to play that game, also promoting people that, dude, I do fucking crazy shit when it comes to like my health and dieting. That's not healthy either. Where I try to get my body fat percentage down to so low, that's not healthy either. And I would never promote telling anybody to do that. That you should try to do what I do.
I'll try it.
Yeah, like that. You should try to do what I do to fucking. That like I'll try to get my body fat. Yeah, I would never say that to promote that to anybody because it's not a healthy thing mentally to look at yourself and be like, okay, I need to have zero body fat.
That's some body dysmorphia
shit too. Exactly. So I would never say to promote that. So that's on the skinny end of the spectrum.
So why can't it be on the other end?
So on the other end as well. I would never say be this skinny or be that big.
Because the other option besides being happy and promoting that is hard work.
Yeah.
And changing yourself.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost like that's the topic today is everything comes down to Nobody wants to do the hard work. They want the easier way out.
Yeah.
And the easier way is, well, instead of doing any hard work, I'll just say I have fat pride.
Yeah, I'm a fat activist, and I'm not the problem. You guys, your perception of bigger people.
Say that no matter what.
Good, man.
I'll not stop saying that.
And I hope you get put on the cover of like a health magazine, like just in a fucking bathing suit or whatever that says "fat isn't healthy."
That's right.
But you're also on there, fucking, in a Speedo or whatever.
That's right.
And like,
we need this to happen.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I got the equipment. We can make our own magazine,
dude. I'll fucking do a fake photo cover shoot.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be really funny.
That'd be so funny. Yeah. And like
fat and not proud.
Yeah,
like, just
fat and not proud. You're not ashamed of your body.
But I'm not promoting it.
Yeah,
this is my hell.
Yeah,
I live with.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with the bleeding ulcers and all the other health problems. Are you trying to tell me that's a good thing?
Yeah. Like, you're telling me that I should be, I should be.
Should I use a CPAP machine the rest of my life?
Yeah.
No, I want to breathe at night. Like, for fuck's sakes, man. I want to be able to roll over and kiss my girl.
Yeah.
I don't want to roll over, have to remove my mask, have air blowing in her face,
Holy
and then
fuck.
try to kiss her.
Oh my god.
And then make sure I get it back on in time so I don't die while I'm sleeping.
Oh,
but
my Lord.
let's be proud.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being fat, of course.
And why can't it
because that's not a bad thing, right? Not being able to breathe at night.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Why is it not okay to say that people should better themselves?
Why, dude? That's the why.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. We can say.
Is that the society we want? That was just like it's okay that you're a piece of shit.
Like why? Why are you not always striving to be the best thing you can be?
Yeah. That
should be the option all the time.
Yeah.
But there's so many of these people are just so lazy and they don't want to do any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell into that trap. I'm not. This is not me preaching to everybody. I'm not some fit dude here saying this. This is me saying, look what I've done to myself.
Yeah.
And it's not right.
Yeah.
And I won't say it is.
Yeah. And you won't get in here and just be like, I'm not, I'm not the problem. The way you guys look at everybody is the problem. Like,
that's right. Me drinking every fucking night is not my problem. It's your problem. Fuck off. Like, that's me, dude. That's me destroying. Me pulling out my phone and ordering late night food is not my problem. It's yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that I have to have a bucket of popcorn chicken in my bed at 3 a.m. is on you guys.
Yeah, you got cookie crumbs. I got chicken skin.
Yeah.
Fucking bed.
Man, oh my god, man.
Yeah, I don't. Well, at least now I don't work for any fucking comedy company, so I can't get fired.
Fuck a comedy company. Also, why is a non-comedian running a comedy company?
Well, she does stand up now too, but she started as an actress.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'm an act. You know what I mean? Can you act? Oh, I can do stand up. I do improv. She does improv too. And
improv is hilarious.
Yeah, improv is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's why improv is the height of comedy. That's why all the comedy you see and that people indulge in is all stuff that's just come up with on the spot.
Oh, 100%.
Because that's where you get the best comedy is stuff that people just think up on the spot.
Yeah. Can I have a place and a time?
Yeah.
Coffee shop. Red Deer. 15 years old.
Yeah, Red
stealing
Deer
car
on the
stereos.
streets. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have just the guy.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That's wild. But yeah, man, you're so brave, dude. I wasn't expecting you to come on here and take such a hard stance like that. Really alienating yourself, just making sure you'll never work again in this business.
I have to move because of this.
Yeah, it's coming on and destroying your career. Saying,
I can see my followers.
Yeah, is saying that fat isn't healthy, which is the most insane thing anybody could say.
It is in Vancouver. It sure is. Buddy.
Yeah,
but it is a worldwide thing too.
It is a worldwide. Yeah,
I'm not picking on just Vancouver, but that's been my experience.
But here I guess people will literally I guess take things away from you or shun you for those opinions. Where other places they'll be like,
well, there's not enough multiculturalism in this city either. We come from Brampton, we come from Ontario and Toronto. Toronto has so much fucking different cultures. It was a shock to, like I said, when I moved here and I didn't see any other cultures besides white and Asians.
Yeah.
And just white people being up in arms about everything.
Yeah.
And I never experienced that. I'm like, where is everybody else?
Yeah.
Where's all the different shapes and different colors?
That's why their worldviews are so fucked up, because they just have these ideas of these different cultures instead of experiences. Yeah. So they don't even realize it. Dude, it's the funniest thing ever to me, because I mean, I've got like members of my family who are black, always had like black friends, and it was always so funny to me to see all these like white girls like just walking around in these fucking BLM marches,
dude,
but that are like, you know, with like their fucking like their like pink hair, their yellow hair, who are like big like LGBT people. Like, if you knew what a lot of the black community felt about the LGBT community, you would try to bring back slavery, let alone fucking like, you know, go BLM. You would try to enslave them. Like,
exactly.
A lot of the black community, as much as they're like, you know, listen, we don't like hate like the LGBT community, but also like they're like, yeah, we don't fuck with it. You know, like we don't fuck with gay shit.
It's not my life.
Like a lot of them are uncomfortable with it.
They're super.
Yeah.
Check out any rapper, anything. How inclusive do you think that is? To the LGBT.
A lot of them, literally, it makes them uncomfortable. Two dudes kissing in front of them, they'll be like, hey, yo,
knock that gay shit off.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And hey, that's, you know,
that's look, that's them. I don't give a fuck.
That's fine. And it's not all of them. I'm not saying all black people hate gay stuff, but a lot, like, and you know, there's a lot of white people that are the exact same way. But for you to just be like if you knew any black people, you would know that
you don't know any black people, so you don't know even how they feel about you.
Yeah, exactly. They would hate you, by the way.
You're not their number one.
They would all hate you, and all these people that like speak for all these different, you know, types of people don't hang out with any of those people. They're not friends with them.
Nothing.
It's wild.
Coming from Toronto area, like in Toronto, you could walk down a block and you go through Little China, you go through Little Italy, you go through everything, and it's all these communities just filled with these people and these shops, and you get to experience these things and you realize these things. And you come out here and it's nothing but sushi and white people.
It's just white people.
And they have no idea of anything.
Yeah.
They were raised here. They've been indoctrinated into this thought of how other people are, but they have no experience. It's just their ideas.
They have no experience of it, and then they try to like tell you
and
that.
And if you try to say, I have experience with it, or what, if I feel
I had somebody say to me, talking about like my cousin and one of my friends who are black guys, she was saying some wild shit about whatever, and I was just like, it was about some like topic about black people, and I said this is what they think, which was contrary to what this person thought. This person thought, a white Asian lady, a mix, fucking, and she said, well, they don't speak for all black people. I was like, you don't speak for any fucking black people. I was like, as a matter of fact, you don't know any black people.
You don't even know
what your opinions are. Is crazy.
You don't even speak for white people.
And I was like, so what you're saying is you only will accept the opinions of the black people that you agree with, but the other ones, you're like, well, they don't get to speak. They don't get to have an opinion on the topic about their own fucking.
You don't get to speak, Uncle Tom.
Crazy.
Like, you don't get
literally insane. And I was like, you, and they don't see a problem with that that line of thought.
And there's a lot of them that don't see a problem with that, and it's become the norm thought.
Yeah.
So your thought and even their thought, being black and experiencing it, it doesn't matter.
It's fucking. It's
unless you
crazy.
go along and toe the line, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't anything.
And you know what? I'm not here to, who knows how long I'll like, whatever, stick around doing comedy here, but I'm not here to fucking, you know, play the game. I'm not going to change what I'm saying or how, because of the way people want to fucking, I have grown up around every single culture. I fuck with everybody. Everybody fucks with me.
That's that's normal to us.
And that's just how shit is. If you are saying that something is offensive to that person, like to that culture, it's like, well, I know people like that. I don't act different around them or not say these things around them, and they're cool with it. So why are you having a problem on their behalf? Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
You can't wrap your head around it, though. I can't. I can't understand it. So that's the thing. Same as you. I'm not here to play the game here. But I've noticed how that does limit yourself here.
Yeah, right.
And I've experienced it personally. So, and I can only speak on that.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to shit on. Vancouver is a beautiful place.
Love it. Yeah.
I've loved my time here, and I loved all that. It's the community of once you get into the insides and you find out what these people think and what they're spewing, you realize they're a lot different than you.
Yeah.
And they had many different experiences than I've had growing up.
Yeah.
My experiences, like you said, we grew up around so many different cultures that like what they're spewing just doesn't even compute with us.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah. And just the arrogance that like they think they like have it figured out.
They have it all figured out.
Yeah,
bro.
they have it figured out, and like, you know, like they're smart even though they are literally some of the dumbest, most sheltered people I've ever like encountered.
And you can't argue with them. You can't reason with
Well,
them.
yeah, and I've got no fucking, I've got no interest in arguing with any of these people or trying to like change their way they think.
No, you can't.
You'll drive yourself insane trying to.
But the problem is that mentality from them, and they do run a lot of things in the city, and that's where the problem.
See, like I want to fucking be here because I like this geography.
Right,
I like this city.
Right,
I love this, but like I'm starting to feel like I fuck with the people on the East Coast a lot more. Right, so like I would love to maybe, and especially that's where my family is. I would love to maybe like do comedy more in Toronto and stuff, but like I don't want to fucking do the winters, and and like Toronto was never really I like the size of this city a lot better, and like just like getting around and like and I do love a lot. I mean, I make a lot of friends here. And I've made tons of friends here who are normal fucking people.
You're a very lovable person.
Thank you. And like, I mean, I do fucking, rub some people the wrong way, but I think that I rub the right people the wrong way.
But that's
you know what I mean?
attracts me to you and your style. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. I sense that you're genuine and you're honest about those things. So no matter, you're a likable dude in that sense. So and like, you're not changing yourself for that. And I just see.
Yeah, and I think that anybody that would be rubbed the wrong way by what I'm saying is somebody that I don't care that they're upset.
Right. They're not your audience.
Yeah,
they're not your friends. They're not your audience.
Yeah.
You're for every one of those, you'll find someone else that sees it like I do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1,000%.
Instead of catering to them, cater to yourself, bro, and people will find you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, what the fuck are you gonna do for me or my fucking
you're gonna be
comedy
a
career?
In my life.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that you think you have any importance in anybody's like life or anything, they're just like you're insane.
Yeah, exactly. It's filtering themselves out.
Yeah,
it's them just filtering themselves.
And I think a lot of it is kind of starting to like swing a little bit back, which I've noticed just like recently. So I really hope that it fucking comes back to a somewhat sane, not that it's going to settle in the middle, because why would it do that now? It's never done that in history. It always swings fucking
just
one extreme to the other. Yeah. But I don't know, just some sort of.
I feel that too. I know what you're talking about, but I felt that also last year, and I felt it the year before sometimes, and it's starting to become. But I do see it a bit more. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm starting. I mean, overall in comedy.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see more comedy being accepted than have been in the last, let's say, 10 years. Whenever this fucking crazy, I'll call it epidemic of whatever comedy is illegal stuff or you can't, words are violence.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that shit started until now, I do see it.
It's coming back. Yeah, because these streaming platforms and everything are losing all their shit.
100%.
No,
there's people doing it for themselves is starting to come through.
There's no comedy that exists on like network television. Yeah. Like there's nothing that exists. I mean, if you're watching, fucking Young Sheldon or something, like you're brain dead. Yeah, you're brain dead.
All of it, man. Big Bang Theory. If you're in a Big Bang Theory, go fuck yourself.
So none of that is like thriving anymore, and it's none of it exists. And like the streaming platforms, they're just giving specials to people who aren't funny, but they're like, they're
they may have an audience or a following.
They're just like, oh, this, it's like
maybe it's a niche thing even.
Yeah, they're just like ticking off boxes where they're just like, oh, we gave a special.
That's what I mean.
We gave a special to this, this like Indian lesbian woman, with one leg.
Right.
They're just like, so,
By the way, that special was fire.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not even talking about hers. That was actually one of the better specials of the year.
No, and it's swinging back in a sense too because I think now that people are seeing a viable option for comedy is you don't have to go through Netflix.
No, you just go direct to the people, and the people decide
YouTube and stuff. Now they don't have control.
Yeah.
Over it, but then they look at the page and they're like, "Look at all these.
Look at the numbers that these people that are going straight to the people.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Like that's going to change.
And they're like the people that we're working with. Yeah, the people that we're working with, the people we're giving the money to. Nobody's watching their shit because they're not funny. And they're just
So now that's why Netflix is taking a stand a bit because it's money. It's like they realize they're going to go where the money is.
Yeah,
the people
and the eyeballs are.
They're starting to see that,
and they're losing it because they tried to play this game.
That's right.
Yeah,
and they took a lot of flack.
Yeah,
a lot of shit because they hired based on that too. So even a lot of their workers were like, "What the fuck? We're going to walk out." Okay, we're willing to take that because we see the monetary value. In a Dave Chappelle or something else.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, it is starting to
So yeah,
clear
it'll come
up a
back
bit.
because of that.
Yeah, because they're
That's where the
realizing
money
nobody's
can be,
watching the
and
shit
they
that
can
you guys.
bank it.
Yeah, nobody's watching this shit you guys are making. People are watching the shit that's just real.
Right.
It's just
so
real life.
all of a sudden that'll become the dominant thing. So
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Which
man.
which will bring it back to just being
Yeah.
like, okay, so the people that are making good shit, they will get hired and they will make the stuff if you want to pay them the money. And we're not saying don't give a platform to these people, but stop
Right.
telling us that.
Stop shoving that platform and saying this is comedy.
Yeah.
Or this is what it is.
Yeah.
That's not comedy, or that's not that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it's maybe a division of something for some certain audience.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But the
for
people
us.
decide, man.
But
ultimately,
let us choose.
yeah. Ultimately, the people decide. If that
Yeah.
person's fucking amazing, we'll all watch it.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we don't, maybe there's a reason why.
Yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't great. Like, yeah.
And but those all come from the problems of, you have to, like we said, you have to tick off the boxes. You have to now give specials.
Yeah.
And nothing is based on just being funny anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's not just based on the product. Yeah, it's based on the person.
It's based on the qualities or the person
Yeah,
itself.
it's just based on the identity of the person.
That's right.
And honestly, I mean, like since I'm kind of now, moving into this space here in Vancouver, whatever, I've literally just decided that I'm just gonna go around saying I'm bi.
Why not?
I'm a non-practicing bisexual. Women do it all the time.
All the time.
I'm a non-practicing
You just haven't
bisexual.
found the right dude.
Yeah, I'm non-practicing bisexual, and also being asexual, like not having sex is also a part of the LGBT community.
Oh, so I've been asexual for years.
So anytime I'm like going through a dry spell, I'm asexual.
Right.
And then so I
didn't
am
know that.
So
I'm
a,
learning my sexuality.
Yeah, so
here.
I'm a part of the LGBT community as well as you are.
Sure.
So we are
I'm
two.
that A, we're
so
that A,
if
right?
anybody excludes us from anything, they're excluding two men from the LGBT community,
Right.
which is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
That's fucked up.
Why?
And
I'm fat.
Jay's
And,
a fat
I'm
guy.
a fat dude. So
Yeah.
you.
So
you
what the
should-
fuck?
I'm an original fat
Asexual.
asexual. So I should be. I'm ticking off boxes here.
Yeah. So for them to exclude you from any show,
Where's my special?
we'll
Where's my
have
special?
fucking laugh crazy wild fucking comedy shut down that they fired. Dude, I'll write an article tonight
Dude,
that'll
do it.
fucking blow up the entire operation.
Oh shit, dude! I can't believe they fired a fat
asexual
Asexual.
LGBT man
Like,
of the LGBT community.
proud member.
Yeah, a proud. Yeah.
I'm so proud to not be getting laid.
I've
like,
met lots of people from the LGBT community, and I've met one that is as exemplary as you are of the community, and just like showing like them such a bright light.
Yeah,
you bring such an energy and a sunshine.
I
to the
never
world.
knew that I was an asexual until I realized nobody just didn't want to fuck me. And
No. You got to flip the game. It's just like no. I'm not interested in sex.
Right,
That's
right.
what
Oh,
it is.
no.
Yeah.
It would be a deterrent to my comedy path.
Yes. Yeah. You're just not interested.
That's
in
actually
sex.
a real thing.
Yeah.
I've actually, put down, or not put down, but I've steered away from relationships since I've started comedy.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that, well, wait, if I can't put my full focus
Mm-hmm.
into comedy, I'm doing a disservice to myself.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against these people. I like I've had many opportunities to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I just can't make that step and say, okay, let's connect and you're a part of my life and 100%, because then I'm not putting 100% into comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And other people can think they do it. Like, this is another thing. I don't have the kids or the significant other based on those things too. Like, I need to keep doing that.
Yeah.
I've gotten this far in comedy this quickly and this good in this short amount of time because I didn't have to, well, should I do comedy tonight or should I hang out with my girl?
Yeah.
That was never an option,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, being an asexual has definitely progressed my career in
Mm-hmm.
that way. And
Yeah.
I would like to identify as that going forward.
Yeah. And hey, welcome. Welcome.
I'm part of the alphabet family.
Yes, man. We are two LGBTQ gentlemen. Me, myself, a non-practicing bisexual man, and as well as a current asexual.
Current asexual.
And
it changes.
And yeah, it fluctuates, it changes. But I am a part of that community, and so I just hope that people know when they exclude me from stuff and when I don't get booked that
based on
they are
that.
doing that because of
Only that reason,
yes,
of course.
only that reason.
It's all.
And it's I mean, I don't even want to get into my family heritage, but if they want to, I have I've got some Indian roots in my family as well, so they're also doing that to a person of color.
Half of my, actually, a bunch of my family is actually Arabic as well.
Wow.
So
you're a proud, Arab LGBTQ fat person, and they are fucking, they are excluded,
excluded, and
based
fired
on that.
Based on all these
Based
things.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't say it when she fired you, but that's what she was thinking.
I could read between
Yeah,
the lines.
I know what she was trying to say.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
She just couldn't get the words out.
Yeah, fucking disgusting.
It's gross. I can't fucking believe that. How can you do this to someone?
Unbelievable. All right, Jay, thanks for coming in.
You're very
Tell
welcome.
the people where to find you.
JR Comedy on all platforms, jrcomedy.com, JR Comedy YouTube.
He's got a website. This guy's legit.
I'm actually got a website.
Wow.
My GoDaddy payment just came out the other day. I just got the email saying I've had my fucking server renewed, so you can still visit the site. I actually have blogs on there. I do a bunch of writing about the things I love, like music, comedy, wrestling, even video games, all that stuff. I also have a YouTube streaming channel, Jay SideQuest.
Oh, nice.
So you can check that out. And J_R_comedy on Instagram.
Beautiful. What video games do you play on there?
Oh man, so I usually play full playthroughs of games, single player games like God of Wars, and right now I'm doing Ghost of Tsushima and a lot of NHL stuff with the boys back in Ontario.
Yeah.
We have our own.
You
teams.
We Twitch?
No, it's all through YouTube. I should jump over to Twitch on it, but I haven't done it. I'm an old man with the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like now if you don't get on the Twitch, you're not a young kid anymore. I should Twitch it out.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I don't know. I'm trying to break into any fucking avenue like we were talking about.
I mean, as long as you're fucking putting stuff out there, I mean, fuck. Like
JR Comedy on Facebook, even, whatever.
Or, yeah, go
DM me. Tell me how fat I am.
All right, that's all, everybody. Make sure you download the episode, go follow Jay, watch his fucking videos and stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, if you're in Vancouver or whatever, go out and fucking see him.
Yeah, pleasure.
All
While
right.
you can.
Yeah, while you can. Yeah. Health is declining and he may not be here.
I'm probably going to die on stage.
That'd be a good show to go to.
That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah, don't miss a show.
It could be your last.
Don't miss a show of Jay's. All
Thanks,
right.
man.
Peace out.